Okay.
Sorry, I got startled. I'm gonna mute myself when you start the lore because I have a feeling there's gonna be a lot of this.
Oh God.
It's scary.
Do we have the
I have
Peroty?
no way to hide or no way to protect myself.
And now I can actually hear you guys. I came in and I saw the lights flashing, but I was like, I have no audio.
The lights are flashing, but nobody's home.
Oh no, plenty of people were home. I can see you all through the windows. I just couldn't hear what you were saying. So, Respawn, did you properly explain to Hawkslay3r that he is now giving up the next 4 to 6 hours of his life to be on the show?
Well, I didn't say he had to be here from the beginning. I just said we'll have you on so you can explain what you had in mind.
No, we've been over this with many guests.
If Respawn invites you on, you are here for the entire show. It's all or nothing. We do nothing halfway here. Yeah. This is an all or nothing commitment. You are either in it for life, much like the game of Destiny, or you're not. There is no middle ground.
You're talking to somebody who has no life overall.
Yeah,
that doesn't apply to me because my wife has the last say, and she wins.
Say Arf is the exception to the rule. Everyone else, because Arf is technically, a host, he's allowed to come and go when he feels like it. But guests,
like
they
you
are
said
forced
earlier,
to stay.
He's a moderator, and we can't do anything about him doing whatever.
No, Demon can. Demon can. You can't.
Hey, Demon, I need you to do me a favor.
Yeah, man has all the powers.
Right.
I need to
Demon sets it all up. Demon doesn't know how it all works.
Yeah.
Demon may have omnipotency, but Demon cannot do anything with that.
I can instruct you if you need to.
What, kick you from the server?
Well, no. Me from the server.
That's probably what he's going to ask.
That's easy.
I mean, yeah.
Welcome to Free Titans and No Hunters, a Destiny 2 podcast. Dedicated in bringing you all the latest information, news and opinions. This is the best show for new and veteran Guardians alike, where we share tips, tricks and tools to help you succeed and enjoy playing even more. So with all that said, let me hand you over to your hosts. The Triumph Hunting Titan, Nitedemon. The Pink-Panted Pansy, Peroty. Your lore scribe from the tower, not Arf. And the former Hunter Master Rager, playing as a Titan for one season only. Mr. No One respawns in real life.
Welcome to Three Titans.
Oh,
and
I'm leaving.
Whatever Hawkslay3r is.
That's fine. You've already been replaced. Right. It was nice for you even to offer up your own replacement. I really appreciate it.
Cool.
Yeah, I know. I feel special now.
So we do have a guest this week, Mr. Hawkslay3r.
He did leave. Sorry.
What, Respawn's left?
He does what he wants. I'm not his real dad. Maybe he'll be back. Maybe he won't be back.
I mean, he's still streaming, so he hasn't gone too far.
So, Hawkslay3r, are you a hunter?
Of course I am.
Oh, there you go. We are now back to Two Titans and a Hunter. Welcome to the new branded version of Two Titans and a Hunter with your stand-in hunter for now, Hawkslay3r. Welcome to the show.
Howdy, guys.
So tell us a bit about you, because that's what all the other podcasts do. They give you 5 to 10 minutes to talk about yourself. Tell us where you come from, where do you live, postal address, telephone number. I mean, games you used to play, why you're into Destiny. Go.
I started playing Destiny back whenever it came out in the beta in 2015, 2016, something like that. I got into a major game community, and I'm still playing the exact hunter that I made in the beta. And this is my game that I've clung to. Like, yes, I've played Halo, Red Dead, all those other games, but Destiny has essentially been the one that I've always come back to.
So you're a bit like us then. Just, that's it. This is your game. This is your gun. You're sticking with it.
Yes, and well, that's essentially whenever I started listening to your guys' podcast, that's what I really just clung on to. I really just started listening to the podcast just to have some ambient noise in the background whenever I was working, because I do a lot of monotonous labor type work. So I just toss in earbud and I just press play and let it go.
Oh yeah, podcasts are perfect for that. I use us and other shows like us for the exact same reason.
So essentially in about, I want to say probably 2 months time, maybe 2.5 months, I've listened to every single episode.
You poor man. I am deeply sorry.
Now, I mean, some of it I could hear very well, some of it I couldn't because I have a very loud generator that blocks out all sound whatsoever.
So you didn't hear all of it every second of it. That's probably, at least within the doctor's recommended dosage of any of us. So that's probably fine.
No, I got much more than that. Just saying. But that's also why I took the opportunity this last week to kind of get Nitedemon riled up, because I have not seen that guy riled up too many times.
Okay, so you're deliberately rolling me up.
Yeah. I don't always play devil's advocate, but when I do, I try to make a point.
No, I don't. Honestly, I don't mind people playing devil's advocate.
That was only slightly riled. You've not really witnessed this man properly, thoroughly riled. It's beautiful. It's beautiful when he gets there, though.
Do we think we should reach out to Respawn and get him back?
Well, I mean, I didn't kick him, and I presume you didn't kick him. I assume he left under his own accord. I assume he'll go off and sulk on a corner and come back eventually, or he won't, and then we'll have to find a new hunter for the show to make the name make sense again. It's on him. He'll either be back or he won't.
Well, I still have his Twitch on my phone right now, and he's still running just fine. He's talking on there.
Oh yeah, I'm assuming he's screaming about us to whoever will listen to him. In which case, fine, great, go for it. he'll come back or he won't. I'm not here to babysit.
Maybe he's just gonna leave us stewing.
Yeah, which is fine.
So, as always, we can tell you what's happening next week in Destiny, because we did in fact take screenshots to tell you what's happening next week in Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
So you can enjoy bonus trials ranks during Trials of Osiris. And with that, don't forget, it is the first week of Trials Labs with zone captures next week on the 1st of April. I don't know why they put that in the TWAB last week. And all it is, it's an extra line of text that they could put on that screen, but they don't. They think everyone's going to remember. You don't. That's why we're here to tell you.
Yeah, I really wish they get better. I mean, at least we have this at all. Like, remember back in the dark days when it was like, what's coming next week? Oh, gotta log on and find out. So they're getting better, inch by inch, but it's very slowly.
And the weekly nightfall is going to be the birthplace of the Vial, which is going to be interesting. That's another new one from the Throne World. And then we have Momentum Control returning to the Crucible. And if you are unfamiliar with Momentum Control, Peroty will now tell you how to play it.
Momentum Control is we've taken all of your weapons, we've put them all up to 11,700, and murder people with them. Basically, it's a modified version, as the name would make you think of Control. It's a 6v6 Control. Light levels don't matter. But basically, all the gun damage is turned up super high. All the zones are captured super fast. Your respawn timer is decreased. Basically, it's like they took Control and just put it in fast forward. So if you're trying to get any sort of catalyst done on any sort of scout rifle, now is the time. Pulse rifles, anything with range, hit really, really hard. And it's very fast. And there is a weekly challenge from one of the first couple weeks to go do Momentum Control games and get kills. So go do that, knock those out, and then you won't have to be worrying about it for when it comes up next time in the rotation.
Exactly.
And it is actually it was from the first week's weekly challenges of getting 75 Guardian kills. And you earn bonus progress with zone advantage. So that sounds like, 75 people I have to kill. Really, if you can hit anybody with anything, you're getting kills. Like, this is not like, if you don't like going into Crucible, this is another one of those, sort of like Team Scorched. Like, this is a mode I would say go in and try it out, because everything hits super hard. It almost levels the playing field, because if you're landing shots, you're getting kills. It's not like, I hit him once and then he murdered me from afar. No, if you're landing shots, you're getting the kills.
Okay. Well, this means I'll actually have to jump in on that.
There we go. And it's fast. So, like, by the time you die and you think, let me go a new sip and start my life again, you're back in the action already. It's quick.
Cool.
And then Nitedemon, what can I buy next week? How can I make my Guardian look more beautiful? Or first, are you going to tell me where my lost sectors are to get my new armor? To then make it look more beautiful?
We got to have that.
Well, I was going to tell you what your challenges are for next week, seeing as we were talking about challenges.
I suppose you could do that too. I guess that's what
Fair
the people
enough.
need to know first.
We are on week 6. Am I correct on that one? I think it's week 6 now.
Somehow, yeah, I think that's right.
Somehow, yeah, it's flown by. Week 6.
I don't know where the weeks go.
We have the legendary Psyoperative 2 Complete Psyop Battlegrounds Cosmodrome on Legend difficulty and access via the Helm Director node. Yeah, there's a separate node. Who knew? It's not a drop-down menu box. It's a separate node. It's a gold sword that's just down from the blue sword.
It is.
And that will give you challenge XP plus and some insight into stuff that's going on in the Helm.
It is also, I believe, not match made. So if you're going to do the legendary version, you're going to need a fire team of 3.
Or it's going to take a long time.
Or
There
both.
we go. He's back.
It could be both.
You have the Light Reclaimer 2, which is defeat Light Hoarders in the Psyops Battlegrounds in the Cosmodrome. It doesn't tell you how many you've got to do of them, but it'll give you challenge XP plus and some more insight. Good. We need more insight. Apex Armorer, Masterwork, a piece of armor. And that will give you challenge XP plus and some bright dust. So if you've already done that this season, it is not retroactive, as I found out last season. And I've now run out of class items to masterwork, so I hate you, Bungie. You're going to make me use one of those things that I work hard towards to get, just so that I complete a triumph.
Mm-hmm. That's their plan.
Absolutely stunning. Stun champions, and you have to do 50 of those.
Oh,
And that will give you challenge XP plus, and some bright dust.
Do you get extra progress if you're posing while you do it? Because I feel like you should.
Goodness. Let me try that one on. That's gonna look fabulous with your eyes.
or at least doing like an emote.
If I'd have built it into the game, then yes. But as I had no, control over what Bungie did, then no, you get nothing.
Missed opportunity.
And then finally, we have Done and Dusted, which is acquire the Done and Dusted ornament for the Reckless Endangerment shotgun, and that is in Crucible. So that will be challenge XP plus and some bright dust. And I'm guessing next week there'll be one for Gambit, and the week after for Strikes for the Reckless Endangerment. So you have to.
So I think the Reckless Endangerment you can get from Crucible or Gambit. I think it's the same because
it's the same shotgun, but you need to complete it again to get the ornament.
Okay. Yeah, so you can earn it from either place, but you still have to earn the ornament from Crucible and then from Gambit separately. So you're still playing a whole lot of both.
And I think it's exactly the same as what happened last season. You will be given the shotgun once you've hit that rank on Crucible, Gambit, or Strikes. And then you have to reset your rank to then go back through and get the ornaments for each one. So you thinking that you can just play one reset of Gambit? No, you can't. Don't even be fooled. You have to play. And same with Strikes. People that don't like Strikes. Twice through, my friends.
Yeah, wait until it's bonus week, because I basically didn't touch Gambit until this week with the bonus ranks and just reset my Gambit rank before the show this morning. So you can do it in a week if you just sort of mainline Gambit, or have a bunch of time to play. You could probably do it in a couple days with the extra bonus, which is just nice.
So is Respawn back now?
Yes, he is.
He really wants to know
Respawn, I'd like to publicly apologise to you for upsetting you, and to any of our listeners. Don't come back swearing. I know you're upset. I apologise to everyone. He's still a hunter. It was a joke.
So fast.
We still love him.
Love is a strong. Tolerate.
Look, I have love for you in my heart. That's as far as it goes.
Just not in the editing suite.
I'm gonna have to dig to find it, just so you know. Maybe a painful process.
See, Respawn, I feel like all your love for them is in the heart of your bottom.
Yeah, it took me a second. My brain fried there for a second.
So we have the Eververse calendar for week 6, and Today in Destiny has updated their calendars with lots of other different symbols that I'm 100% not sure about. So I'm just going to hover over them and go, so there's going to be lots of here. So they do give you the featured carousel for what's happening in the Eververse store. So the Witch Queen Deluxe Edition is sold for silver at Season of the Risen. I'm guessing
that's
that's
a lot of silver.
I think that's what's happened. That's the. I've no idea what any of these are now. So, I mean, when I click on it, it doesn't really give me anything apart from that it was sold on weeks such and such for silver. So, yeah.
Are you in the club?
So
Where you at?
I'm in the Eververse calendar.
Oh.
So for featured silver for next week, you have the Return to the Tower pack. They're giving you a package. And it's a silver-only item this season, and it contains a set of Year 4 accessories. Bundle price will be reduced for each item already owned, and that would be 2,400 silver. So what they normally do is, like, if you're missing any ornaments or stuff like, yeah, any ornaments really. That's what it is. I think it's just a bundle of ornaments or ghost shell ships and things. So if you already own some of them, the silver is reduced for each item that you've got. So unless I've got them, I don't know how much they're reduced by, but I will check next week and let you know, because it looks like they've added lots of boxes.
Well, it's 1,500. Well, for the armor, it's 1,500 silver, and you get 5 pieces, right? No. Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5. Okay. So it's about 500 silver reduction for each piece that you already have. Not 500. 300. Sorry.
There's math involved. Whatever it is, it'll be less. And then just know you're not paying for something you already own.
Yeah.
Or if you own nothing, you're paying for all of it. Or if you're going, that's silver, why bother? Just wait till I get it for Bright Dust. Then you're paying nothing at all. And you save 100% every week.
Is it even available for Bright Dust? Is that even an option?
No, it's silver only.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Is these the things that are in them? I'm really confused now. Peroty, I'm going to need some help on this.
So you reach out to Peroty?
Just. Do you want to look at it?
Yeah, Respawn, help him.
Okay, I don't know where you're at. I'm in the club. You said you were in the damn store. I don't know where to access the store from.
It's not the store. It's todayindestiny.com. So go to todayindestiny.com, and they have an EV calendar for Eververse calendar at the top.
Wow, that was already in my list. I guess I figured.
And then if you scroll down to week 6, we decided this was going to be.
Yeah, it's definitely week 6.
And then they will tell you what is good things are happening on week 6.
EV calendar, you said?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, EV.
Not the adorable Pokemon, the Eververse.
Gotcha, yeah.
It looks like these Return to the Tower packages, it says, contains a set of Year 4 accessories, and the bundle price will be reduced for each item already owned. So I know that Bugcatcher has already come up, but I'm guessing that Bugcatcher, DIY Forge Master, and the Glaive Mistake, which is another exotic emote, are three exotic emotes that are in this bundle.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Yep.
So contains the sets, but it doesn't tell you what's in the set. So I'm guessing those are the 3 that are in that one set. Because the next one is Season of the Risen Exotic Emote Pack for 3,000 silver.
So yeah, the first pack is these 3 emotes. The second pack is the shell, the ship, the sparrow, and the last pack looks like it's probably like silver and currencies and things like that, in addition to this shader or this ornament. Sorry, because they only showed the one ornament. Yeah, they probably have.
It's really confusing, isn't it? How they've now updated.
You probably get like.
So we're going to go with that
and stuff like that in addition to that. Be my guess.
So Season of the Risen Exotic Emote Pack is that one. And so Return to the Tower pack is going to be the E99 shell, exotic ghost shell, the N33DL exotic ship, and the SP3AR exotic sparrow. And that Return to the Tower pack, because that's the only explanation for that.
E99, N33, 5P, and then it's the S733K bundle. I think the S733K bundle is the egg ship and sparrow, because the naming conventions match.
And this is the week that we stopped doing this feature because we are now too confused.
No, because once we figure this live next week, it will make total sense.
I doubt it.
Or will it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, tune in next week to find out if we have sorted this out.
Oh, trust me, I will.
It's taken 4 grown men 5 minutes to figure this out.
All right, no, I got it. Perfect. Return to the Tower is the ornament, molten whatever, and then probably currencies. Season of the Rizzic exotic emotes is obviously the emotes. And then the S733K is these weirdly named ship, sparrow, egg.
Or is the Return to the Tower pack any of these items?
So the current week is the S733K set, which has the it has a bundle. It has a bundle in a bundle. So the set contains a bundle, or you can buy the individual pieces of the bundle. So in this case, the S733K set contains, you can buy the, and these are all stupidly long names, the 5P3AR Sparrow, the N33DL ship, or the E99 shell Ghost Shell individually for silver, or you can buy them together for silver. So the bundle price, yeah. So it sets, you can buy the set as a whole, or you can buy the bundle, or you can buy each piece individually. It's basically, you can buy just what you want or the whole thing, and they'll make it slightly cheaper if you buy the whole thing.
And I already bought the first bundle, so it doesn't tell me how much it costs. So I can't see the price.
So moving on to our weekly offerings, as this is what the silver is. Okay.
This week, finances.
We have the Glaive Mistake exotic emote for 1,000 silver. We have the weapon ornament, the Infinality, which is a weapon ornament for the...
That's the Raid Pulse. I don't know the name of it.
Oh, Collective Obligation.
Yeah.
That's why.
Okay.
Yeah. So the Raid Pulse for the Collective Obligation. So you can get an ornament for that for 700 silver next week. The Tekiale, which is the Hunter ornament for the Starry to Scales for 600 silver.
Mm-hmm. This one takes shaders so much better than the other one, guys. You guys need to grab that quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Worth it.
Trace of the Throne, which is the Titan ornament for the Titan Ramparts for 600 silver. And the Homespun Boots, which is the ornament for the Boots of the Assembler for 600 silver. And then don't forget, if you don't want to buy them for silver next week, at some point in the next 2 to 3 weeks, they will come back up for Bright Dust, because that's how they generally work. So if you want to wait for it and don't want to spend any real world money, then just give it a couple of weeks. Cheese legendary emote is only going to be available for silver this season. So they're going to charge you, because they know it's for you, for 500 silver.
He'll find a way to cheese it. He'll get it for Bright Dust.
He will.
Of course.
And then you have some synthwave templates and stuff that, just play the game. You'll be happy. The same as if, you don't need to buy your concentrated matter gems, glimmer shards, scavenger's boons with your Bright Dust. Just play the game, put on some mods on your Ghost. You'll be happy. Happy as Larry.
Is Larry inherently
happy?
I was going to say.
Yeah, how happy is this Larry? I'm not sure. I don't know any Larry, so I can't vouch for their happiness.
Or are we talking about Larry the Lobster?
I'm allergic to shellfish.
It's very shellfish of you.
I never said you had to eat them.
So your exotic sparrow for next week for Bright Dust is the winning streak for 2,500 Bright Dust. We have the Saints Invocation, which is your exotic ship for 2,000 Bright Dust. We have the Catch Flight Entrance, which is your legendary transmat for 450. Trinity Shader for 300 Bright Dust. The Wiggle Worm exotic emote for 3,250 Bright Dust. Rover Shell for 2,850 Bright Dust. You can have the SK1 Multiband Rover exotic Sparrow for 2,500 Bright Dust. Saints Vacation again has come back up for 2,000 Bright Dust. That's your exotic ship. We have the ornaments for the Hunters, Titans, and Warlocks for their boots. So the Abyss Walker Strides, the Desolate Diver Greaves, and the Elect of the Empty Boots will all be 1,200 Bright Dust next week. We have the Logic Weapon Ornament for the Lament Sword for 1,200 Bright Dust.
That's still in this game.
1,250 Bright Dust. Yeah, that's still in the game. And then finally, we have the Splintered Projection, which is your legendary Ghost Projection for 1,500 Bright Dust. Respawn, seeing as you're playing as your Titan,
Okay.
Then you're going to need to know what Lost Sector is coming up next week.
Hello.
Is it though? Like, okay, no, I wanted to talk to y'all about Titan Exotics, right? Because
No.
new exotics
There's only 2 you need, and they're not the ones from the season, and that's all you need to know.
Syntheseps, I have, right? So that's one of them.
Okay.
Insurmountable Skull Fort.
Wrong.
Actium Warrig.
I guess. This season, it's all about the Heart of Inmost Light.
Right, I'm wearing that one currently. Yep. Armamentarium.
That Heart of Inmost Light's all you need.
And Peregrine Greed. Right? Anything else? Field Marches. Right? That's the thing, right?
You can just stop at Heart of Inmost Light and you're good.
Yeah.
And then just feed the void into the hive directly, and then that's it. You're done.
Simple enough.
So your Lost Sectors next week. We have Monday the 28th will be the Exodus Garden 2A on the Cosmodrome, giving you exotic legs. We have Tuesday the 29th will be the Aphelios Rest on the Dreaming City, giving you exotic arms. Wednesday the 30th will be Bay of Drowning Wishes on the Dreaming City, giving you exotic chess pieces. Thursday the 31st will be Chamber of Starlight on the Dreaming City, giving exotic helmets. Friday the 1st of April will be the K1 Revelations on the Moon, giving exotic legs. Saturday the 2nd will be the K1 Crew Quarters on the Moon, giving exotic arms. Sunday the 3rd will be the K1 Logistics on the Moon, giving exotic chess pieces. And then finally back round to Monday the 4th of April will be the Metamorphosis on the Throne World, giving exotic helmets. And in our show notes, I have guides for each day from Divide, Time Sausage Gaming, PV Shifty, and Abbey Hour for each of those days. So that's got you covered.
I tell you what, just now while y'all were doing that whole thing, right? You know the part of the storyline where you got the hive big boy running around with the fire, and you gotta go to each one of those 3 areas, pop the crystal so you can damage him.
The Scorn guy, yeah.
That with my hunter took me 1 death to figure out the mechanics, and then the next run through I was done. Easy. It had to take me, guys, what do y'all think? Like 30 runs to get it done with this Titan? What the hell, man?
Sir, you have an overshield. You have an overshield that will both give you an overshield and blind the enemy. You're not thinking like a Titan.
Well, see, they told me not to use that.
They're wrong. You need to shift your thinking from "I need to not be seen" to "I'm over here, walk through this barrier, then you won't see anything, and then you'll be dead."
You're talking about Bastion, right?
Whatever Plunder the Booty says to run on the build to just give you infinite void forever. Yeah.
Oh no, I have the infinite void thing, but the overshield.
Well, then you're done.
You need a Bastion with that, right?
I should go check. I don't remember.
Yeah. I'm looking at it right now. I think it's Bastion.
Yeah. Bastion's your friend. You throw that barrier. You throw the barrier down. It gives you and your friends an overshield, and it blinds all the enemies because the wall has always done that forever. And I feel like not enough people really appreciate that.
Well, yeah, they're all about blowing up ads. As soon as you do damage to one, the rest kind of blow up. And they're like, if there's no ads, there's nothing to need an overshield for. This is
wrong. You always need an overshield. Always. You never don't need more health and safety.
Right. Let's rock that for a bit.
I think the problem is that Micah plays the Titan completely different to how
Titans play Titans.
Other people play the Titan. Yeah, exactly. And
well, you were there really last night. You could have said, "Are you sure you want to do that?" And I'd have been like, "I don't know. Do I?" You know, there were like 3 Titans in the chat last night. Only one of them was giving me feedback.
Yeah, and I didn't want to step on his toes. He was obviously trying to give you a build that you're not coping with.
I'm not kosher with this thing, man. I'm dying. Yeah, continue, go ahead.
No, I mean, that's what I was kind of saying, was that maybe try doing like 100% resilience, because then that way you get your shield back up more often.
Well, the shield is never, I never don't have a shield, right? Because the Heart of Innermost Light and that whole shenanigan.
No, but the whole idea is if you have your shield up 100%, and I believe it's something like 16 seconds from once you pop it to you getting another shield. The whole idea with the Heart of Innermost Light is to drop the shield. I mean, it doesn't even have to be the shield. You could drop a rally barricade. You could drop the lower one if you wanted to, and use the point of the fact that you've dropped that to then empower either your melee or your grenades. And once you've done that, the Heart of Innermost Light kind of charges up those other ones, and you can 2 times and 3 times stack those, can't you,
Right,
Peroty?
that's what I've been doing. I've been popping the shield, and then throwing the nade, and then throwing the frisbee. So the frisbee bounces between everybody.
Yeah.
And I believe once you pop the shield, it helps recharge that. It also helps the recharge rate of the other 2 abilities. So the more you have of the shields, and the more shields that you are popping, the more of an increase of the others you'll get back even further. And if you get the stacks going, you'll get them charged up even faster when it starts to get into 2 and 3 times.
So I see Black Bar's opinion there for the 2 Titans that are currently in the chat. You're both recommending Overshield over exploding enemies.
Both. You can do both. You can set a Bastion right next to you can set a Bastion and Controlled Demolition as your 2 aspects, and then slap fragments on, and then there's 3 fragments you can slap on. In this case, I've got Provision, Exchange, and Undermining, which basically gives you weakening and volatile when you throw.
But if you do that, you lose offensive bulwark, which now you've lost your grenade and melee recharge.
Yeah, but that's what the Heart of Innermost Light comes for. And you can also then add weakening and volatile to your shield throw and your grenade. You don't need you don't need the extra time. You just kill things and then it comes back up. And every time you have a wall, throw that wall down to feed your abilities. That's all you need to do. And just have your abilities feed back into each other and lay waste to everything in sight by getting them blind, strapping detonators to their chests, and weakening them.
Yeah. Detonator sounds fun.
There's so much fun. The volatile is the best thing in this game. Because if you have a room of ads, no, you don't.
On into that. So
yeah, you had a room of ads. They're gone now. They're gone. Their parents are gone. Their children are gone. Their entire family line, it's gone.
Oof. Okay.
And their friends are gone.
They didn't have any friends. They were all sitting together in a room. It was their first day.
Yeah.
Wait, so they're like us?
I have a friend.
Touche, sir. Touche.
We've just been talking about him. Micah is my friend. I have one.
Yeah, but he's not in the room with you.
Fair.
So this is the Book of the Damned, 9.10, Apothecary. Consequence of Sin.
You love your sisters, but only one offers love in return. Yet, you will allow poor sweet Azabath to give all of herself for you, to extinguish her essence that you might take her place. But her essence is not the whole of it. What of her gift? The melody that echoes in her soul is a rare treasure. So few are as purely connected to the pain of our being as those worthy of the choir. Still, precious Azabath gives everything for you to be whole, trading her art for your rage, when rage is so easily born, so readily nurtured, so pathetically revered. But such is the deep of her caring. Such is the folly of love, that we would surrender the best of our being, the entirety of our essence, to please those we cherish most. What then of the other, your wicked sister, Malkanth? Her fondness for you is tempered by ambition, by the stoic truth she finds in sword logic. She sees all, knows much, and wields secrets as weapons like few before her. That she herself holds you dear is a certainty you feel to your core, for she is, has always been, devoted and true. She served the fallen prince faithfully, despite the questionable calling of your line. But her loyalties were of little consequence when the children of the light cursed these halls and slaughtered their way to the forbidden chambers, when they killed the son, tempted the father, and set in motion a war that would end the great king's reign. But you know all of this, great and powerful Aquazel. Such histories are the framework for your rage. Such violent truths are marked upon your body, mind, and soul. Your Seren is the culmination of a lifetime's fighting to prove not just what your own worth, but the worth of all bound to the tainted sect of your disgraced blood. I wonder, did Malkanth ever offer to restore your loving sister? Your body will rest hollow when your soul is freed. Why then must Azabath perish when a vessel of her own blood and bones sits idle? Because, angry, blind, sad Aquazul, your sister knows what you do not. You are a tool, a weapon, nothing more. Your rage, your sole value. Azabath would have seen different. She would have smiled at your renewed pride once you were made whole in her flesh. But soon your anger would have been more than she could bear. And so, there it is. The broken sibling blinded by their sinful desires. One, Malkanth the liar, would see you sharpened and loosened upon those she deemed weak, but at the cost of the only living creature you hold dear. The other, tender, loving Azabath, would bind your fury within her love, making you a lesser as she attempts to nurture your pain. Both are flawed, both as unworthy as any. What then will you do? Once whole, will you remain a puppet to be a would-be puppet master? Or will you take your sister's gift and become your final, fleeting shape, rage unleashed, and nothing more until all are dust?
These words became a steady, humming picking at the back of Aquazul's mind. He did not hear them, but felt them. They etched a truth upon his being in the instant between Azabath's final scream and his own rendering. All went dark and grey, and then he gasped anew, his first breath in his sister's shell. And through new eyes he saw Malkanth smiling down upon him, and knew the whispers were not deceit, but a promise. The edge of his blade slid into Malkanth's sternum, a fatal wound, deep and clean. Aquazul, now Azabath, would be no one's pawn. Her rage would be unfettered, the swarm would suffer. Then the wicked offspring of the light would too, and any others who stood before her. The coming slaughter would end only in dust, hers or all others. Now we move on to Inquisition of the Damned, 9.10.1. Apothecary. No gods, only devils. Malkanth feels herself slide from her body. The exorcism is sudden and effortless. Then come the whispers.
I stoked your brother's fire, riled him that he might strike. I needed only the wound to tear you free. The piercing of your heart will take some mending, but your vessel is fit for what is to come. I know this comes as a shock, but trust that my actions were such that you felt only the briefest pain as the edge broke through. And now this, now peace.
I ask not for peace, O hidden sister of shapes.
You know this voice.
I know you have many. I have heard their faint temptations since I was a child. Never have I sought their counsel.
You have asked for nothing, this is true. You sought only to take. You are a willful, treacherous thing. I quite like you. Make no mistake, I see no fault in your desires, nor the attempt to see them realized. Your only sin, in the eyes of those who matter, was that you were not yet positioned to achieve the full extent of your potential. You saw a moment, and you moved to act, like countless others before you. But your actions were not enough. Worse, it was limited in its views of the power hidden so plainly within your grasp.
Aquazul is a force worthy of change. His fury will
be of little consequence. Kill the ineffectual priests, murder the daughters of a failed prince, sully the sword logic, and crown a new ruler. Still the swarm will be nothing more than a faint flicker when the time comes for the cosmos and all its intentions to be weighed and judged by those who sit on thrones beyond our imagination.
You speak of unseen gods for whom I give no consideration. My path, the sacrifice made here, will serve to carve my intentions upon concerns more immediate than those that await at the end of all things.
Then we agree. My dismissal of the Swarm's legacy is not a plea for you to consider gods wholly removed from here and now. Quite the opposite. The dragon and the worm, the larvae and the queen, the peasant and the god. So many deities, so many rules. There are endless myths etched into the plague called life. They are not hope or promise or power. They are exaggerations born of misunderstandings. Yet they govern so much. Your actions and mine. Day to day, cycle to cycle, evolution to evolution. Always idols to guide and punish and love and destroy. But are any true? Who must we placate with worship and reverence, with offerings and sacrifice, with praise as armor for their frail egos? The truth is, dear child, there are no gods, only absolutes. Yet here we sit on the edge of the greatest unmaking. Time is no longer time when the Radiolarian dances upon histories gone and yet to be. Space is no longer space when we have torn realities to carve out our own secret plans of being. Death is no longer death when the champions of the light rise and fall, never backing down, never truly knowing defeat. All that remains is ignorance, the last absolute, the final unassailable truth. Time can be bent and broken, redirected to the whims of those with the knowledge and the will. Space can be shredded asunder, excavated to discover new and ancient realms not chained to understanding. Through impossible energies and advanced technologies, both physical and indistinguishable from magic. Ignorance is the unconquerable consequence. One can learn more, but none can learn all.
What then, when immortality and the totality of space and time can be joined to learn the last of the unknowns?
When the final absolute fails, reality will shudder and blink, and a new absolute will emerge, an ending, total and complete.
You wish to see that end?
I wish to ensure it does not come to pass.
Will you take me with you?
I had considered such a thing, but no, your purpose is served.
How so, if I have failed?
You have failed in furthering your own goals, poor thing, not mine.
Malkanth considers these words and is overcome with a sudden, final sense of dread as she feels her essence fade to nothingness. Her last thought is of her sister.
Right, so Damon, what do you remember from the lore you have just read?
Malkanth is being whispered to by somebody and telling him, that he's basically worthless throughout. And at the end of it, it was Malkanth getting stabbed by Akrazul.
Akrazul / Azavath.
That's it.
So basically what we're seeing here is Malkanth just at the end of the
ritual.
The ritual, the ritual ceremony, whichever way you want to call it, that she's actually performed to actually transplant Akrazul into Azavath.
Right.
But then if you read through this again, you'll actually see there's almost like a whisper. Something's in her head just going, yeah, you're not good enough. You're not good enough. And then it ends with her brother killing her. Or her brother / sister killing her.
Yeah.
But this is a strange one, because if we go back to the previous week, well, not the previous week, the week before, we see Malkanth with a gaping wound in her chest kills Akrazul / Azavath.
And singing a death song, wasn't it?
Yes, it was singing a death song. That's how she killed him. Her.
Yeah. And I think when we discussed that, you said that was Akrazul, didn't you?
Azavath.
That's
Azavath is the sister. Akrazul is the brother.
Oh, okay.
That's why it's calling everything Azavath in this one, because Azavath is Azavath's body with Akrazul's soul implanted.
Yes. So Azavath was the sister, and she is now in Malkanth, but you didn't want to allude as to why and the reasons to at that point, did you?
We are getting closer to that.
Right.
We are getting close to that, because you can see there's the whisper there before the ritual was completed, the ritual in her head, and sort of like, who whispers? Who whispers to people? Well, we know Ahamkara whisper, but who else whispers?
ASMR Twitch streamers whisper.
So does
Savathun.
Oh, Savathun.
Yes.
Is that the answer you're looking for?
I think
Yes.
so.
Yes.
Okay. That makes more sense.
And then we're going to move on to Apocrypha. No gods, only devils.
Well, I don't get why Malkanth was stabbed. Was it just because of the sword logic?
Yes.
Or did... Okay.
Well, as you say, it's a sword logic. She's just done this big thing for her brother, and her sister sacrificed herself. So what do you do if you love somebody when you're Hive?
Give him a nice...
You try to kill him!
Hug.
Bang on.
Try to kill him!
You try and kill him. That's how you show love for your siblings. You try and kill them to make them stronger. So in Azavath / Akrazul's mind, that was the right thing to do, because she's just done this glorious thing for her. And look, I'm so thankful. Stab.
Oops. Get up. Get up. Why are you just laying there, sis?
Oh, well, sword logic and all that. Crack on.
Malkanth actually speaks back to Savathun. Savathun does her whispers like she did in the last lore reading. And then Malkanth actually responds and talks as he's slipping away into nothingness. His soul is kind of, going. But yeah, he didn't ask for peace, so hidden sister of shapes. So what does the Sister of Shapes actually mean? It's obviously a title that they've given Savathun. That was something that I was wondering about. Because seeing as Destiny's all about shapes, and they're talking about the final shape.
No, it's about one thing, the final shape.
Yeah.
Or the last living... That's what Oryx was always striving towards, and that's what they believe they're all striving towards with the sword logic, to find the final shape in the universe. Or to put it in Exo terms and Clovis Bray, Luca. You remember we talked about Luca?
No.
I'm thinking
actually
Disney at this point.
Universal, the last species left, the final shape.
Oh, okay. See, when you said shape, I was thinking of like body shape, because she's a shapeshifter, sister of shape. She doesn't have like a set shape. She's always shaping into other people. She's using other people's forms. She doesn't have a shape of her own, or she doesn't use a shape of her own, I should probably say.
But they can actually do that. The Ascendant Hive can do that, and she's always done that because of the Ascendant. Because, well, not shape shifting, but you saw how she possessed Osiris.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, spoiler warning: Osiris might be dead.
I think that ship has sailed.
That's two truths, two lies.
Oh no! I've been reading the new lore.
Yeah.
And
spoilers!
I've actually got this. Yeah, spoilers. No. If you've completed the campaign, you should already have this lore book.
Yes, but if you've completed the campaign and listened to some of the other lore channels, you'd know about the two truths and two lies thing.
Two lies, yeah.
Mm. And you'd know that the messages that you've received about Osiris are actually Savathun messages, so it's tricks. Because at the top of each page that is a Savathun lie, apparently it doesn't have the decoding from the hidden, but the ones that are the truths, I think there's only two. There's one from Ikora and there's one from Eris. that have the hidden decryption at the top of the pages, whereas everything else is a Savathûn trick.
I'd missed that one. You're ahead of me there.
Ah. Down with this
Martian Missives 4.
Hey, Demon, I understand we're about to have an opening for a new lore guy. You interested?
Well, no, our lore guy, he's had a little bit of time off. He can't, be expected to keep up to date with everything.
I don't think he's reached the bell curve for the beer yet.
No, I'll pass that.
Oh, he's going down the other side of the bell curve. He's sliding.
Sliding or rolling.
So with what you were talking about with the Martian missives, I was worried like you, that he was actually dead, because one in the lore readings or the lore pages basically says that Keitel found a dead husk of Osiris.
But it's in the spirit of Zavala's newfound
Mars.
Truth that I offer you news.
Yeah.
Delivered by my Cabal scouts, my forces recently recovered the remains of a human male on Nessus, vivisected almost beyond recognition, but using hive techniques and tools. Our science identifies the unfortunate as your warden of the infinite forest, Osiris. Now, I read that now, but then that thought's just occurred to me. Mm-hmm. Osiris is no longer the warden of the infinite forest. Who locked themselves in?
Wait, what?
Who shut all the ways to the infinite forest and locked themselves in? Brother Vance. So potentially that may not be Osiris, but potentially could be Brother Vance, because he is the current warden of the infinite forest, because he shut the doors to stop the darkness getting in there.
Okay, so it's not so much as a lie; it's in this is completely all made up. There are kind of little pieces of truth that a body has been found, maybe by the Cabal, but this report is completely made up by what we now think is Savathûn trying to trick us into thinking that it was Osiris.
Possibly. We've got no confirmation of that yet.
No, but it's a good theory.
That's a good thought, but we need it to be proven first. This is the whole thing with the Destiny lore. Everybody's got theories, and there's been speculation about so many things. The speculation on the identity of Shin Malfur, was he that baby that was brought back by the ghost in D1? We still don't actually know that. Now, it's pretty much canon, everyone believes that, but until it's confirmed, we just don't know.
So, but what we do know is that Savathûn had another purpose for Malkanth, Azavath, and Aquazul that wasn't really part of a whole, because reading into this lore, she was like, you guys were going to go off and do your own thing. Yes. And now you were part of my plan, but you're not really part of my plan now.
Yes and no. They throughout this whole lore book, Savathûn has been manipulating everybody. Yeah. Now, she's been manipulating the daughters of Crota, or the siblings of Crota, should I say. Not siblings, sorry, the children of Crota.
Yeah. She's
been manipulating the grandchildren of Crota, which I believe these guys are. And there is another thing there, because she's realised it takes a unique voice to sing the death song properly. And she doesn't like wasting them. Now, from what I understand, it was Erenuk and I want to say no, I can't remember. I can never remember her surname, but her sister's name. But they were twins, and they created the choir that we read about previously. Now, 20 people in a choir shattered a world. Can you imagine the power that they have? Now, if she could bring that choir back and actually teach them the death song here, how much power would that give her? And at this point, she was looking for ultimate power. And from what we know now, she was looking to overthrow, well, not quite overthrow the darkness, but
she wanted to become the witness, is what are you trying to say?
Pretty much, yeah.
She wanted to be the one in charge of everything.
Yes. Yes, that's why she lied to the witness so the traveller would recover. That's why the traveller survived the collapse.
Yeah.
Spoiler, sorry.
Well, it's not really a spoiler because we know that the traveller survived the collapse.
Yes, but we didn't know until this season that it was Savathun that actually was supposed to be supervising it and lied to the witness. Or deceived the witness.
Do you think that's what redeemed her in the eyes of the traveller? Because at any point, I suppose the traveller could have given her the light between leaving Fundament and now.
Well,
there must have been a way.
Don't forget what we've discovered in the game now. That we now know the Krill, the proto-hive, were chosen by the traveller already. He was just actually going there to give them the light, as he did through our system, visiting each planet in the system in turn, or moons in that case that surrounded the Fundament.
Yeah.
So he was on his way there to actually bless them with the light, but the witness and Rulk got wind of this and got in there first. So they were still chosen by the light.
Yeah, no, but that's what I mean. I don't understand. I don't understand where the traveller's kind of coming from, because surely at any point the traveller could have still blessed them, even though they're wielding the darkness. Because we wield the darkness, but is it a completely different darkness, or is it the darkness that we are wielding? Because I thought pyramid ships, darkness, we're wielding the dark and the light. Why couldn't they have done that for Savathun and the Krill or the Hive?
To be honest, reading between the lines of some of the lore I've read so much lore recently, I've forgotten most of it.
Yeah.
But reading between the lines, it may be that we were chosen by the darkness and the light decided to stick the boot in this time to get his own back. So that's why we can actually wield both. Because we'd already been chosen by the darkness, so we can wield the light as well. Once we're chosen by the light. Such like the Krill, the Hive Cam. They were chosen by the light, but then the darkness got there first. So they can wield both.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm getting there? The most powerful being, from what I can, this is my own sort of theory and opinion here. In my own theory, the most powerful beings in the universe can wield both. Do you understand what I mean? Now, I've believed this since Season of the Risen. No, was it Season of the Risen?
This is the Season of the Risen.
No, okay, not Season of the Risen. What was the Gambit one?
Drifter? Season of the Drifter?
Yes, well, we'll call it Season of the Drifter. Because it was all about when we were getting the letters from what was the warlock called? Was she a warlock? That was she was a warlock because she was a Praxic warlock, and we were getting letters from her.
Hidden.
Yes,
one of the hidden for Ikora.
But we were also getting letters from Shin Malfur as well, and even he says towards the end of
sorry, was she the one that was disillusioned?
Yes, and she wanted to kill the Drifter because of his game, and he was pulling Taken through, and she didn't believe it, even though it was approved by the Vanguard. Now, if you look at near the end of that season, we got to the stage where we had Lumina, we had the Last Word, we had what was the other hand cannon called? Malfeasance. You had a weapon of light, a weapon of darkness, and one in between. And even Shin Malfur says to us, we're the only person he's ever seen that can wield all the weapons.
Until Savathun came along, and now she can wield dark and light.
But she's very much in the same category as us, where she's worked out if she walks that line between light and dark, she'll be more powerful than both of them, or the individual. She's more powerful combined than she is as an individual.
So can she still wield the darkness as well as the light now?
I don't know.
Because it just seems like she's learning her powers.
I think she's still learning her light powers currently, as we are giving her her memories back.
Do you think that's still going to continue over the next year? Do you think? I mean, we haven't truly defeated her as such, which is quite a good thing. You know, we've got to the end of the campaign. She's not specifically dead.
Well, she's not dead, but we have her remains that would be used to resurrect her by Imaru.
Okay.
So we don't have her ghost, but we have her remains.
So
Imaru can't resurrect her. Yeah, Imaru can't resurrect her until she gets the body back.
Okay. Would the body not slowly decay?
Yes, but they don't need much to actually bring them back.
Okay.
And we've seen this. We've seen the Vanguard do this before. It was in some of the Drifter lore in when it was Lady Aphrodite actually came in, shot 3 light bearers, and basically said to the ghost, "Leave them, go away."
Well, you also have to keep in mind our Guardian was hundreds of years old when we were resurrected. You know, so
no. Our Guardian had been dead.
Yeah,
hundreds of years.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it doesn't matter how much you decompose, because we were probably barely bones in the ground when we got resurrected. You know,
more like dust, more realistically.
Yeah. So yeah, no. As long as the organic material is there, as long as the DNA is present, that's all the ghost needs, dude.
Yeah. Now, whether she's do hive bleed, we don't know. We know the worm pops out if you blow the head off. But with regards, if it's possible, if we've left any DNA, yeah, I agree with it. She could resurrect from that, but we don't actually know if hive bleed or leave DNA behind to actually resurrect from. Okay. So they've kind of written her out, but haven't written her out.
Yeah. So do you think over the next year we'll be finding more things aboard her ship to give her more memories and us some more insight?
I definitely think we will.
Okay. It's a big space. It's a bit like the Dreadnought, really, isn't it?
Oh, it's great. I love the space at the minute. I've played more this season than I have in 6 months.
Talking about the light touching the hive and touching us, what's happened with the Fallen or the Elixni? How come they were touched by the light and the Traveller moved on and then they were left lightless? I don't understand that logic.
The Traveller planned to do the same with us.
But then, did the Traveller
read the lore book
with
Constellations?
As well?
Is it the Constellations ones where it tells you about the speakers? It's always been foretold the Traveller will arrive.
Rasputin has held her or held the Traveller here.
No, okay. No. Basically, the Traveller will arrive. He will terraform and bless us with the light, but then he will leave.
The Golden Age is done, so broski.
Yeah, and I don't think it's going to be long before in-game, before the Traveller will actually start moving. Well, they actually moved this season because Savathun tried to suck him into a throne world.
But wasn't that for his protection?
Protection. Well,
its protection?
It's protection.
Yeah. Speaking of which, actually, I had a question about that exact topic, right?
Go on.
So, Savathun gets light. I mean, we took her worm and whatnot, and obviously, you know, it looked like we were trying to help her just so we could kill her, right?
I've still got it. It's great.
Right, but like the thing about it is she gets light, right? She wants to protect the Traveller. Obviously, we Lightbearers have been protecting the Traveller for a hot minute, right? So instead of her waking up with light and becoming a grade A biatch, why didn't she just explain this to us? And we could have probably actually been allies, you know?
Because she has no memory of her previous life.
Right, but once we started helping her get her memory, she could have been like, oh, you know what? Time out, my bad. We don't need to fight, you know?
No, I think Respawn's alluding to the fact of, in the actual campaign, she sucks the Traveller into her throne world as protection. She wants to protect the Traveller at that point. And I think that's the confusing part, because at that point she knows what's happened, and she knows what's happened in her previous life, and she now can wield the light. So if we'd have kind of aligned there, the Traveller may have been safe in her throne world.
We hadn't properly aligned or started giving her memories back until near the end of the campaign.
Right, but the last mission of the campaign, we're in her throne world, fighting her basically for the Traveller, and she could have just been like, time out, wait a second, I remembered a thing. Hold on, we don't have to fight. You know.
But we did give her
pause.
memories, and she did stop.
Yeah.
That's how we stopped her, by giving her memories.
And we pressed forward.
Or at least slowed her down. But you've got to remember how long Savathun's life was. It's millennia long.
Yeah.
It's hundreds of thousands, possibly millions of years old. Can you imagine the memories we'd have to actually get back to her?
I think we've got a long year ahead of us.
Kind of sounds like a personal problem. Like, you're bad for living along.
Also, we probably won't be able to give back all of her memories as an entirety, just bits and pieces.
Well, we can using the we've already proved using that calcified worm that we can actually get bits back to her that way, and using her worm as well. And she's also preempted possibly this by leaving memory imprints on important things, like part of that fragment of the Tablet of Ruin we found.
Yeah.
So there'll be stuff like this all dotted around throughout the year, potentially through 2 years, leading up to the final shape.
Do you think that would probably be the best course of action, to actually house the Traveller inside her throne world? Because it seems pretty safe. I mean, the Witness wasn't able to get Rourke out of there, or maybe he didn't want to get Rourke out of there. But
for who?
For the Traveller, safe in the throne
and
world for the Traveller.
More importantly, would it cut the light off from us if that happened?
Well, that's the route I was going down there, with it actually being in the throne world and potentially taken out of our reality.
Yeah.
Would we lose the light? So basically, we would
lose the light.
Absolutely murdered.
Can't...
Well, I'm just presuming here, because it takes it out of one reality into another, being the ascendant plane.
Unless there's some sort of like Hive portal, can you channel the light like through the Hive portals, like a Hive VPN for your light?
It's possible, but we've seen the light be cut off before.
Yeah.
We've seen the light being cut off before with the Starfish of Doom. Now, we know the ghost still worked with no light, but they could only just heal us. They couldn't actually resurrect us. So we're on final life there.
It's going to make this other light subclass reworks real awkward if they don't do anything.
So do you
we'd
think
have
that
we'd have no super,
darkness?
No grenades. Sorry, what was that, Hawkeye? Hawkslay, sorry.
Oh.
I don't know why I called you Hawkeye there.
That was actually one of my former gamer tags. But anyways, if they restrict the light again, do you think that they're going to expand or elaborate more on the darkness side?
That's been theorized for a long time now. It has been theorized that we will get 2 more darkness subclasses. But with them doing the rework, they are going to do the rework on Solar and Arc. I can't see that being this year.
No, it's not going to be this year. It's going to be the following 2 years.
Yeah.
So Lightfall and the Final Shape should potentially one each year, should keep us going. Let's face it, it's going to take them a year to balance each one out, a bit like they did with Stasis.
I'm still waiting for him to take away Suppressing Glaive. That's amazing.
I mean, it's going to take them at least this long to remember the storyline anyway, because we're going to get part of the way through the storyline, and then we're going to have a couple of seasons of a new story, and then they'll eventually go, oh, right, Savathun, Traveler, Throne World. We were telling that story, weren't we? By the time they get back to it, it'll be 2024, and they'll figure out what to do by then.
They've always done that.
Oh yeah,
they'll
tell that's what I'm saying. Absolutely,
it's like the story with the Elixni.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, somebody brought up a good point. When we go into the Throne World and the Traveler is outside, we still have access to the light. So why wouldn't it be feasible for the Traveler being in the Throne World? Yeah. So why wouldn't it be feasible that if the Traveler is in the Throne World?
That's a fair point, but if Rourke, she casts some spell to actually hide the light.
Yeah, right, Arf, I'm not happy with this, Arf. I'm not happy at all. Why haven't the Elixni been given back the light? Seeing as the Traveller's here, they're here.
They still use friends. They still use it.
I've not seen an Elixir Guardian.
How do you think they developed the splicer gauntlet and entered different planes? That's
Apple
it's
technology.
using the light.
I put it down to Apple technology.
I was going to say technology too. Yeah.
Steve Jobs all over again. Yeah,
maybe not Apple per se, but yeah, definitely technology.
But it was the light that helped them develop that technology.
Yeah, but that
and the extra hands. The extra hands.
That's
come in
the
really
light's
helpful.
influence. They didn't wield the light. They were just influenced, technologically speaking, by the light. Don't you dare say that again. Take that back.
Well, I mean, the light had to. Like the light had to bless them, for lack of a better term. Like they still needed to have the light. The light can be like, no, you don't get to use this. So I mean,
why is the light?
They're still
that?
light enabled because the light does what it wants, and you're not its real dad.
And more importantly, I mean, this further goes along the lines of, remember how people are saying, oh, the Traveler might not actually be good, the Traveler might be evil, this and that and the other. Why would he give somebody like the Hive who believe in the sword logic? Oh no, this was okay. So he was going to bless them before sword logic was a thing. Yeah. Disregard.
But I think
the first part of the conversation just catch up there, Respawn.
No,
it takes a minute. All right, I'm processing. Shut up. Leave me alone.
I'm just really hoping this is a whole. Like I remember in like Destiny 1, there was a whole, line of thinking about how we are the bad guys. We are the, it's not that all these alien races are terrible. We are the monster. We are the alien race who's going in and waste everything that can't be killed. So I'm hoping that this sort of all comes to fruition, and it's like we eventually find out, we are those monsters.
Well, that's why I brought up the point of maybe we were chosen by the darkness first.
And the light thought that they would do the opposite of what happened on Fundament and come and see
you did
us
that.
first.
You did that to me. I'm going to do it to you.
Yeah. You've chosen yours. I'll choose mine. You wanted that one. We wanted that one. So we're just going to swap because you obviously wanted that one for a reason.
Yeah.
We're just getting picked for kickball on the playground. That's all we're doing.
Well, thank you very much for stopping by, Arf. It's much appreciated for lore
You're more than welcome.
You have a good day?
I'm just going to go and murder my children for shooting me in the neck. No.
This is both being recorded and streamed.
Nerf.
Sir.
Nerf murder.
You'll hear one of them go off in a minute.
You see, he's in the UK, so it's Nerf guns. It's fine.
No.
Yeah.
Pack it in. Sorry. Ow.
See you later.
Please send emergency services to not ARF, one Nerf way, wherever he is in England.
So, Peroty, we had a hotfix this week, didn't we? Hotfix 4.0.0.4.
We did. Hotfix cannot be found. 404. It fixed, again, so many things. It did fix a number of things in the throne world with networking issues causing the destructible pyramid crux objects to desync and causing players to be confused with things being dead and not really being dead, and just like the game world and the players, we weren't all seeing the same thing. We each had our own version of reality, and it wasn't working well for anybody. They also fixed the issue in the throne world where the third altar could unintentionally be active on the map for a short period. So 2 altars only, no third altar at the same time. If you've been playing Gambit foolishly before your double XP week went up and your hotfix went out, you can now no longer be one-shot by the Ariana's Vow, unless you've taken damage from other people. Basically, Gambit PvP was using Gambit PvE values, so they fixed that. So now the guns do the amount of damage they should be doing. Vow of the Disciple, if you've been running that raid, they fixed a whole bunch of things. The unintentional symbol could appear where one of Rolk's attacks met environmental geometry. You could earn a lore entry by stating in front of only one of 2 symbols. You could also shoot any symbol to pass the kill symbol check for the lore entry. You could disrupt the caretaker mid-wipe's performance. The caretaker also could be... you could complete that encounter and the activity would not progress. And Rolk's encounter would be soft-locked if a player spread Leeching Force as their final deposit occurs. Player could also leave a raid banner up by planting them as the encounter begins. And players could earn multiple lore entries by reloading checkpoints, so they fixed all of those issues.
Boo!
Should have gotten it done quicker. The Witch Queen campaign, they fixed an issue where players could circumvent death in the legendary campaign missions by leaving the fire team and rejoining. Now, anybody who joins in progress will require a revive. So you can still join, but you're going to join dead. They did fix an issue also preventing the replayable nodes of the Witch Queen campaign from appearing on the Throw World map for a small portion of players. And they fixed
Can I add something to that right quick? I had an issue where I was playing that mission that Respawn just talked about, where you got to destroy or go into the 3 rooms, destroy the crystals, bring the boss's damage down. I was going with this guy to defeat that. Well, he died, and the boss had like a quarter of his health left. I launched off like 4 Gallahorn shots, shot off my super, put out buttloads of damage, and both the boss and I died at the same time, and he's dead. Well, we're both sitting there dead. I have to hop out, join back in, and then we're able to move forward. So you're saying now we're going to have to restart that mission if that were to happen again?
It should time. If you're all dead, it should time out eventually. I mean, there should be a timer. If you're dead, the boss is dead. It'll either pass you and res you, or it'll say, "Hey, there's a timer. Fires. Try again."
Actually, in
or
that
you found a different bug, and then something else will happen.
Yeah, in that instance, nothing was happening. We decided to wait for a minute. Nothing happened. The only option was that I left and then came right back since he was the fire team leader.
Yeah. Well, yeah, now apparently if you do that, it'll bring you back dead, so it should then again trigger the respawn timer thing at some point. But yeah, don't know. Yep. They also fixed an issue displaying the possible rewards for the legendary difficulty Ghosts to include Ascendant Alloy. In your PsyOps battleground, there were inconsistent champions spawning. They're now more consistent, I guess. Some issues where items were being highlighted as new incorrectly, which had negative impacts on performance just in the UI of the game. They also fixed an issue where general game performance could stutter or drop frame rate while character inventory UI was loading. Yes, it could. As we've talked about a couple times already, they fixed the Gambit weapon focusing prices that were way too high before. Rahul's designation materials are now basically matching what Spider sold in stacks of 5. Fixed an issue allowing weapon telemetries to drop. It does say here, Nitedemon, you can safely delete all weapon telemetries from your inventory as they no longer have any use and will not be used in the future. Which I know I can tell you.
To be honest, I haven't even looked.
And you're still going to keep 2 because you're going to say, what happens if they bring it back in year 8? And then I'll have 1 and it'll be beautiful.
Yeah, no, even if they say it's safe, unless they physically remove it from his inventory, it's staying right where it is.
For some reason, if you haven't been able to unlock your light subclasses, you should now be able to do so. Or if you've been able to re-unlock your light subclasses because you got all those quests, congratulations. Go talk to Ikora and she'll be very excitedly tell you can now harness the light. A bunch of, I'm sorry, I'm looking through this list. There's a bunch of things. This is where they put in the elemental crafting capacity caps that they talked about last week. Those are now in the game. The sleight of hand trait perk had incorrect crafting requirements, so that should work. If you've been wanting to put on your Moment of Triumph 2021 title, you can equip that now. The number of weapon fixes. Sorry, I'm just looking through this list because there's just a ton of things in here. Weapon fixes, armor fixes, abilities. We're not reading all of these. If there's things you've seen that are broken, go fix them. They did also fix an issue on PC where some overlays were causing game crashes. So if you've been using the MSI Afterburner or Razer Cortex, your game should hopefully crash less. And yeah, I'm not reading the rest of these. They've made changes to things. Yeah, nothing really is jumping out at me as.
Did y'all discuss the Hunter air quotes nerf for PvP?
Not yet.
I don't know if that was part of that section.
Targets with void invisibility active now ping the radar 0.6 seconds every 3 seconds until invisibility ends. Normal radar visibility rules still apply, aka double jumping and sprinting will show it to you. Note, we've seen some feedback from the data on the first weekend of trials. We want to take a few steps to address a few outliers in Void 3.0 subclass kits.
AKA Hunters and Viz too much.
Yeah, Hunters and Viz and Titans are too strong. These changes are targeted specifically at PvP and do not affect the PvE sandbox. Basically, it's a new thing. We're looking at feedback. They'll continue to make tweaks as needed. They did fix an issue with the Child of Old Gods could damage some targets through their immunity shields. While the child will not be put on timeout, it now knows better and has issued heartfelt apologies to all targets that it damaged through immunity. We are thankful to have such a good child and are proud of them. Anything else in there, Nitedemon, that you looked at and saw was important, or have you looked at it at all either?
No, I think because they do they go back over it, don't they, in the TWAB with some of the points, like you were saying about the barricades taking more damage now, which I'm a bit upset about because
only from players though. It's not a PvE change. It's a PvP change.
I know it's not a PvE change, but even so, those barricades don't last, or they've never really lasted that long in PvP, to be honest. And for them to go down even quicker, and if people are rocking
how long is
from the new weapons,
it easily lasts a couple of gunfights, which, especially if you have the one you can is definitely long enough to kill a Guardian.
No. It doesn't last that long at all. Even PvE, it doesn't last that long.
No. It's very weak, in fact. I don't know why it's been nerfed.
I mean, apparently some people had issues with it.
Yeah, and again, they did say we were looking at trials feedback. So yeah, probably in trials where you can play a little slower, a little more methodically, you're going to see a lot different behavior than you see it in, just in sixes. In momentum control, for instance, in which case it won't matter at all. You'll still be dead in a heartbeat. Shall we move on to good old this week of Bungie? Because Bungie did things and they're excited to tell us about them for all of 4 seconds.
Yeah, of course.
So Respawn, since you know what's in the take it away. Tell us what's there.
Fair enough.
Without even looking. Go on, go.
No, not gonna work.
What's the top article?
Top article of the TWAB, without looking, is gonna be totally not looking at all. Another year, another great opportunity to continue the good work of Bungie Foundation for this year's Game to Give charity initiative. This year, the community banded together once more to raise hype and funds for a variety of good causes, including Ukrainian humanitarian efforts, children's hospitals, and even rehabilitation for veterans reintegrating into the civilian world. As a vet myself, this was something I was not personally aware of before joining the team. I was ecstatic for yet another reason to support the continued efforts of this organization. But hey, it's not about me. It's about you and the work that we've done together to make the world just a single bit better for all. From a spinning wheel filled to the brim with prizes to an inside look inside of some of Destiny's best content, this year's Game to Give event ended on a high note. How high? You may be wondering. We've got the Bungie Foundation here to break it down for you. Okay, this is not a video. This is just it's just a picture. Cool. Bungie Foundation is now speaking. Wow! We're completely blown away by the generosity you all showed throughout the Game to Give fundraising campaign in support of the Bungie Foundation's charitable pillars of children's health and well-being, humanitarian aid, and inclusion, diversity, and equity. That is a lot of commas. Thanks to all of you, Game to Give has raised a record amount of $2,011,025. We reached this incredible amount of funding because of the 38,500 plus donors and 575 fundraisers who supported across the 103 countries. To say this was a true global Guardian initiative is definitely an understatement. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you for showing us once again how truly special the Bungie community is through your care and compassion for those in need around the world. And chat, give me a damn second. Countries from all over the world participated in the latest charity drive, showing the true power of the gaming community. Of what the gaming community is capable of. Together, we were able to provide emotional and social support of more than 100,000 children through entertainment and iPad, sorry. Do they even make iPods anymore? I don't even know.
Nope.
Together, we've sent medical aid to Ukraine during a time of immense crisis. And together, we've helped diverse youth get education they want in STEM fields and efforts to reduce racism in the world of game development. Together, we should be proud. If you listen closely, you may even hear Shaq screaming in victory for all these accomplishments, making our space uncles proud, one charity at a time.
I look forward to Nitedemon inserting Shaq screaming at that point.
7th column! Yes! I can't believe what I'm seeing. This is amazing. Delightful.
Throw more grenades!
Never give up, Guardian.
Not sure that's exactly the shout he'd do. And I'm a little disappointed we don't have our inside reporter Deacon here for this week, because she was more right than she thought.
About what?
Oh, I did try and get Deacon on the record. She did say no comment, unfortunately.
So this is relating to the Bungie's clarification of account security policies. Okay. Basically, saying they've put out another wave of bans. Don't do account recoveries. That's basically the gist of this is don't do account recoveries. They see that as violating their terms and service. They will ban your account. They will not care when you go, but I didn't know, or I didn't know. No, you knew. They're telling you. Don't do it. So
what, you play like ass on Monday, and then Tuesday you're a PvP god, and then notice? Is that...
I think there's many different
you
things
log in from different locations. Yeah, there's they control the internets of this game. They going on. So basically what they're saying...
I should be careful with as much as I travel, huh?
Bungie product security team in August 2021, Bungie adjusted the policies to clarify that account recovery, boosting, and players that benefit from these services were in violation of the terms of service. Since then, they've closely monitored suspected activity and issued our first wave of bans against the identified violators. We want to assure the community we will fairly enforce our policy on player conduct, even for the most skilled or well-known players. And I feel like that's in there because a certain player from a certain World's First Raid team tweeted that he was one of the people that got banned. Now, I've seen this, and I think it was Lucky 10P put out a video about it.
Yes, it was, because I forwarded it to you.
Yeah. Have we seen any other? I haven't looked because honestly, I don't care about Bungie drama or Destiny drama. But have you happened to see anything else from it, like any other, verification one way or the other? I mean, we're assuming Lucky 10P wouldn't lie to us. I don't know.
No, I think the problem is that it was only literally about 8 or 9 hours ago, as we're recording this, that it happened. That one of the members tweeted out and said that they got banned. So I think it's still very fresh. And whether he will still actually get the raids first, and whether the team will get the raids first, I guess is up to Bungie. And as I said, Deacon said no comment, that the team were unavailable to make comments, so we have no insight into this.
Yeah, so basically, again, don't give other people your account. Now, yes, if your brother's in the house and you're playing on the same Xbox in the same house, that will likely not be a problem. If your siblings are playing, if Nidedemon's kids get on his account, Bungie's not going to come.
Depends on how good he is.
But if
I go flawless 4 times in a weekend, Bungie might notice something.
Right. I mean, and that's the thing. And just the entire win pay to play, especially with trials being up. Oh, pay us $50 and we'll take you flawless. Yeah, sure. I will give a stranger access to my account. It doesn't need to be said, but we're still going to say it. Don't give strangers access to your account. You could be like the people on Reddit that go, I did this and something happened, and then now my characters are gone and my entire vault's deleted and everything I had was gone because you gave a stranger access to your account.
Wait, is that all they do?
Do it.
Like, I would think that they would just ban your account and you can't play Destiny anymore. What does a ban for Destiny mean?
It means you can't access your account, thus your account is banned and you can't use it or. But I'm saying the people you pay to do the recoveries or to take you flawless, there's no guarantee they're going to do that either. They could just take your account and delete it or delete all your stuff out of it.
Like trolls. I see what you mean. Okay.
Yeah. So again, keep your account secret, keep your account safe. Don't give people access to it. Bungie's watching, Bungie's waiting, and don't do dumb things with it.
Bungie's hammering.
So imagine that if you're on that world's first team and Bungie decide that they're going to take that away from you and the team because they consider that that person's been banned for that, then that automatically gives Datto the world's first.
So you're telling me people that were good enough to be on a world's first team was cheating in another part of the game?
Count recovering, boosting something. not necessarily, but
like,
doing.
Was he boosting other people's stuff? Probably
doing, or being boosted, saying, "Hey, I've got to work. Hey, go make my account raid ready while I work this week." Again, we don't know. We have no details. We just know that one of the members of the team tweeted that they had been banned. We don't know why they were banned, but Bungie saying, "Hey guys, just a reminder, we continue to crack down on things and have issued bans." The same week. Probably not coincidental, but yeah, we don't know what, they have policies. They exist for a reason. You run afoul of the policies, consequences happen. That's the long and short of this. Yeah. Just like if you renamed your player to a name that Bungie doesn't like and Bungie won't accept, you're going to be Guardian again forever because you got one rename and you wasted it. So don't do that either.
It's amazing what some people get away with though, man. As far as the names go,
it is
right, which is why everybody that cries about Bungie's too strict. I'm like, no, they're not. You just went way too far afoul of what you shouldn't have done.
Well, there was that one guy whose Bungie name was Shax, remember? And after the name changes went through, he became Guardian. I was like, that's jacked. They didn't want you to keep the name Shax.
Yeah. Well, it could just be that that's like a protected thing too. There's certain words or names you can't use because it conflicts with something somewhere.
Probably.
Yeah.
Who knows?
That's so funny.
Yeah, but there's some names I'm surprised to actually get across. Like my best friend, his gamer tag is literally butt snorkeling.
Which is fine. Like, who cares? That's not offensive to anyone. If you want to put out there that you're butt
dive.
No one. Well, yeah, I mean, it's not hate speech. You're not attacking anybody. If you want to self-identify as a butt snorkeler, go for it.
All right, so where we at now? Player support report. Skipping that.
Winter is over. No, winter is over because we're getting another thing. Respawn your raid emblem. There may be a delay in it. So some people have gotten their raid emblems. Some people haven't. They've hit a snag in their processing of them.
What I'm currently wearing.
They hope to have it. Well, then I guess you haven't been hit. But if you have not received your raid emblem from Val the Disciple, they're working on it. They just hit a snag, probably in the hole, it being 48 hours instead of 24 hours. Their system somewhere probably went, these people didn't earn it. Bungie has to go, no, I promise they did.
I was there. I saw it.
If you're waiting on it, they'll get it to you. We have another hotfix, because again, it wouldn't be a game without another hotfix. So March 29th, getting another hotfix, 9 a.m. Pacific. 45 minutes later, you get kicked offline. 15 minutes later, you get the hotfix. An hour after that, you get brought back online. I'm not going to tell you what time zone it's in. You know where you are by now. PS4, you guys are getting an HDR update. I'm assuming this is all related to the, your blacks are white, your whites are blacks, and the entire game looks very broken because of HDR settings. So earlier in the season, Bungie asked the PS4 players to turn off HDR to prevent crashing on their system. We believe this issue has been resolved with hotfix 4.004. So if you're still having issues, let Bungie know. So
what they're trying to say is, go be a guinea pig. Let them know if they fixed it.
Test and verify.
Well, at least give feedback and let them know what's good and what's bad.
Oh, they get feedback.
They get a lot of feedback.
And there's known issues. I don't know if these known issues are going to get fixed in this patch, but your Ozymancy gloves lose a grenade charge after dying. So they're not very good gloves. They can't hold on to things. Your devour timer isn't consistent when killing multiple enemies at once compared to killing one enemy. So if you want to properly devour, eat one enemy at a time. You can't go to the whole smorgasbord. You can't do it.
That I did notice when I was playing Warlock before.
Players on Xbox are crashing at higher rates than usual. Now, I feel like I'm crashing at a higher rate than usual because I'm tired. Is this the Xbox crashing or the players crashing?
Xbox.
Xbox. Mine crashed yesterday, yeah.
Because it's saying players on Xbox are crashing. And I've been crashing, but the Xbox has been fine. And Rahul's planetary materials. Issues. Very good. And Rahul's planetary materials aren't rotating. So if you want to spend materials at Rahul, they're the same ones you've been able to spend. all season long. That's the list of issues. There's a known issues list. If you're seeing issues, go report them. There's a whole help forum. If you think you're having an issue, report it. See if anyone else has said things, and go there. You know what to do at this point. Who would like to talk about our takedown clarifications? Because I know this riled a lot of people up this week about.
Tag me in.
Yeah, no, it's definitely your turn.
I think Nitedemon would like to talk about the takedown clarifications that Bungie
pick me.
Told us they talk about, and now this is them talking about. So take it away.
So there's been lots of controversy in the community over the last couple of weeks with people putting content on YouTube. We had a couple of people in our community reach out and say, look, my video has been taken down. I've no idea. They're saying it's a Bungie copyright strike. All I had was audio and things like that. So Bungie were kind of scrambling over the last couple of weeks to try and figure out what was going wrong, because even people like Asdacross, Bife were also getting struck. And this was to do with the way that YouTube works and how you can put in a copyright claim to YouTube. And if you get, I think if it's 2 strikes, then you can't post for, is it 7 days or something like that? And then if you get 3 strikes, you can't post at all. You're completely permanent banned. So people like Asdacross were panicking. Bife was getting angry on Twitter and sending out angry tweets and then deleting them. But
as Bife do.
Yeah. They do go on to explain what was happening in the TWAB of, we do have a policy that we kind of allow you to use our stuff, but it's a legal grey area because you shouldn't really do it with making money on things, because that's how YouTubers and streamers make their money. They play that person's game. They get, subscriptions, they get sponsors. It's a complete grey area for where we are at the moment. I mean, the games industry is moving faster than anything else, like the law can kind of catch up with. So this is the issue with the grey areas and these restrictions that are kind of being put onto what's actually happening with these takedowns. Now, Bungie came out and straight away said, it's not us. It's not anything to do with us or any partners that we use. It's nothing to do with Sony, because that was the other thing. People were saying it's only because of where they've come in contact with Sony and now they're part of Sony Sony are kind of renowned for this, but it wasn't those. And the other thing was that I think Bungie beforehand use external companies to go through like YouTube and other places to copyright strike people that are intentionally using their products for things that they don't allow, basically. And I think one of these companies, I'm not sure if they actually say what it is here. CSC.
CSC. Yeah, they're Bungie partner that aids in IP protection, intellectual property.
So yeah, you have to have a company that will protect your intellectual property, which is where we are at this point. And what they kind of do is, as I said, search the internet and go after people and things like that. And what has actually happened, and I watched a video which I will link in the show notes, which was quite an interesting video. Let me have a quick check. It was by Hawkslay3r, and it was regarding the Bungie takedowns, and it was a bit more of an explanation of what was actually happening towards the beginning of the week. I mean, I don't think Bungie actually say too much about it in the 12, apart from that they've kind of resolved it. The copyright strikes of Asdacross have all kind of been overturned. Things are kind of getting back to normal. But what actually, listening and watching this video, it actually turns out, apparently, that it was a third party. It wasn't anything to do with Bungie or their third party people that they work with. It was a different content creator that had gone out of his way or out of their way to strike down these people. And the reason that they gave, because they actually contacted the people that they struck down, and they sent it from the same email address that was actually the one that was logged with YouTube. They explained what had actually happened. Is what it turns out is that they were a content creator, or they have been struck down by Bungie, and Bungie hadn't been listening. So what they decided they were going to do is that they were going to use the same logic as this other person that had got them kind of struck down, and do the same thing, but on a bigger scale.
So they basically attacked everyone who creates content for Bungie because they were salty.
Well, in their explanation, I mean, as I said, you can watch this video. I see their logic that they got struck by this other person that just goes out of their way to strike people down, and Bungie didn't listen, or Bungie or whoever weren't listening because they were such a small content creator, or whatever the reason was, that whatever their ban wasn't getting overturned. So they thought they would use the same tactic as person one, and they would go after as many people as they could, so that the Bungie would actually take notice that somebody was maliciously doing this to other streamers and content creators, so that they can maybe their thing could kind of get reconciled. And it turns out that it's obviously helped, because it's bring this to the forefront of everybody's attention. They've, I mean, as they said in the video, they can't corroborate 100% that this is what was actually happening, but the guy that did the big takedowns of all these content creators was the one that was upset, and he explained that, you know, person one was doing it beforehand, and he's been doing it to other various different games and streamers for a very long time, and he got struck by this. So he thought if he used the same rules that this other guy did, which is basically YouTube will listen to anybody. And apparently, I mean, all he had to do was create an email address that was similar, but it was a Google address, and YouTube actually listened to it because they don't have any kind of protection.
Right. Sorry. Yeah. Like this has been a problem with YouTube for for years, for a long time.
That's what his frustration was, is that nobody was listening to him. So he thought if he uses that to his advantage, then surely somebody somewhere is going to take note, and they have now.
Yeah. I mean, YouTube takedowns are basically completely automated. Like, there's no human reviewing all of the takedowns that YouTube does. It's just too big. There's no way to do it. And two, YouTube for years has had a problem with people who can basically make a copyright claim and say, I'm Universal Studios, this is my movie, down. Or, hey, I'm Bungie, take down all this Destiny content. Like, Bungie themselves were being hit by this. Like, Bungie's official IP was being hit. Like, it's such a problem with YouTube that it's too big and there's no way to keep track of things. I had missed that it was someone who was, again, had been victimized by this, had been hurt by it, that were then going, well, clearly if this is the way things are done, this is how I get hurt.
Yeah.
I don't want to, I understand, but I don't understand at the same time. I mean, but like you said at the get-go, it's always, content creation is 100% you are living at the mercy of the creator of the content you are playing, promoting, watching. Like, this is you've hitched your horse to, in this case, Bungie, and you live at their mercy.
I mean, honestly speaking, it reminds me of that movie, Law Abiding Citizen, where he turns himself into jail so that he can purposely show how corrupt the court system is as he goes around killing people from his cell. You know, it's like, oh, the court system is so jacked. Let me show you how jacked it is by doing something stupid, you know? And that's the vibe I get from this guy. Oh, you don't want to listen to me about why this is broken? Cool. I'm going to show you why it's broken. Check this out. I mean, yeah, it just...
But he's made his point, and apparently he contacted everybody that he sent the strike to and immediately overturned it. So it was just to get a point across, which I understand, and he went back and complete. No, but then he completely. The problem is, I think, is that the overturn can only come from the person that put in the claim in the first place.
The strike.
Yeah. So although probably Bungie has a bit more authority to go take it all back when they go straight to YouTube, he individually did that. But the other person that is still maliciously attacking, not necessarily just Bungie, other games as well, is still going ahead and doing that because they haven't taken back their strikes.
Right. And that's, and we haven't fixed, like, none of this is fixed. This could all happen again and continues to happen. I think is the bigger takeaway is, I mean, YouTube system is still completely broken in copyright infringement.
And it's constantly changing, which makes it even more broken. And they don't even know what their own rules are half the time. You know,
I think you're right, Peroty. I think it will probably happen again. It might not necessarily happen to Bungie, but if it does, I think
it will get
escalated even further.
Well, I mean, that's, I mean, this has happened for years, with literal, I mean, music, video games, everything. Like, I've read I remember seeing a couple things years ago where like, hey, I am the artist of this song. This is literally my song. I have put up onto my social media to promote, and YouTube goes, "You're not the copyright owner of this." And it's like, yes, I absolutely am. This is my music. This is my video game. Like in this case, Bungie had their own content taken down by YouTube, saying, "Bungie, you are not the IP holder of Bungie content."
Yeah,
like it sucks that it happened to the Bungie community, and hopefully that everybody who did get struck got unstruck. And I mean, it doesn't really help the lost revenue, lost viewership, whatever they lost at it because of this. But it also doesn't fix the bigger problem of this could absolutely happen again tomorrow, and there's nothing in place to stop it.
And YouTube isn't the kind, benevolent person that like, oh, we'll repay you for whatever you may have lost. No,
no, YouTube's totally benevolent. They're just going to ignore everybody and everything. We don't care.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was at such an opportune time. I mean, the Witch Queen was at its highest. People were on the edge of their seats for new content, and they did it at the right time. It's just
you want to make a point, you picked your spot to make a point.
Yes, you did.
So with this, going forward, Bungie will be allowing certain Destiny music tracks to be uploaded to channels for archival purpose only. For those creators interested in this type of content creation, the guidelines below should be reviewed. It can't be an OST song that Bungie has already released or posted elsewhere publicly. The content can't be monetized, and the creator needs to obtain permission from Bungie by contacting this email, and that's licensing@bungie.com. And they say at the end of the day, our content creator community is invaluable to us, and no, not just in big creators. We understand that many creators have their content as a source of primary income, and we do not wish to cause harm for those who express their passion through art. However, as with any company, there are boundaries in place to protect both the community and the property that the Destiny 2 teams have poured their souls into throughout the years. Because this is important to the future of the game and the future to our community, we have been working to update our community guidelines and messaging, and found in its original iteration here. And obviously you can click the link, but it'll be in our show notes, to make our boundaries as businessly clear so that you, the creator, can make the content your soul craving without fear. We will share the update resources with you when all those changes are finalized. So Bungie are doing something, but not necessarily YouTube are doing something. But it sounds like they're getting a little bit stricter on the music side of it, but not necessarily on the gameplay side of it. I could understand that.
Which makes sense. I mean, it's literally their music. If you're not doing a cover or transforming it, you're just uploading their music. They're going to take that down.
And with that, it's the original soundtrack.
So if you're like streaming the game, do you have to just turn off the music entirely?
No, that's not what they're saying.
They're saying if you're uploading, image and then the song, that's absolutely going to get taken down.
Okay.
If you're doing gameplay and there's music in the background of the play, that's what they're saying. We're working. They have their content policy now, which is pretty lenient, but they're saying they're working to make that more clear. Of here's sort of where where the lines are going to be drawn, and it's never going to be an exact like here's exactly what we do in every circumstance, but to the best of their ability, here's a line we can draw, here's a guideline we can give you, which is, again, I mean, I think their sort of their current guidance is basically like don't post things straight from the game and or like music as its own without doing anything to it. But if you're posting gameplay, we don't really care. But it also gets into gray area if you're monetizing it and everything. So they're doing their best to communicate. Just know that you're living in a legal gray area for all of this content stuff. I mean, 100%. That's, I mean, if you're streaming, you're living at the mercy of the owner of that copyright.
Yeah. And
that's what you have to remember going into this at the beginning. You could turn around tomorrow and say, we're done. We don't, we want to pull our IP back and take it all down off YouTube, and then that's it. I'm not saying they're going to. It would be, feels like commercial suicide, but you absolutely could have a company do that, and that's their decision.
It sounds like something Disney or Sony would do, though. Honestly speaking.
Well, and the type of media too, like video games, so much are different in how people consume them, then if you have a movie, you're going to watch the movie. If you have a song, you're going to listen to the song. If you have a video game that's, still just as much their IP, but in how you consume it, it's different. It's not like me watching your run of Vow the Disciple is the same thing as watching the world's first run of Vow the Disciple. Yes, it's the same content, but it's not the same, it's not the same thing. Whereas, music and movies, it's a piece of content that's the same for everybody. It's flat out there, so you are just, putting up on your channel to make money off of.
An example is like, Jez, for example. Jez has his content, right? And then Jez has the content that he does with Datto and Travel Danielle. And the three of them interacting is what makes that content, in my opinion. The three of them messing with each other, laughing, joking, things like that. That's the content. They just happen to be playing Destiny, right? And then there's when he does it by himself. So even though it's the same content or same game, same background gameplay or whatever, the people in the foreground are what makes the content, And yeah. Why did I say that? I don't know.
I mean, Bungie do say that most of the recent takedowns were carried out by them for uploading of the original soundtrack. So AZ, that may have been Bungie that officially got you.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, that's Bungie saying we're gonna lock down on just uploading the flat out music, because again, it's just like uploading a movie. You can't just upload that, especially if you're on a monetized channel. But even if you're not, they're not gonna let you just upload their IP and go, "Yep, no, we're good with that." Because there's also part of copyright law is defending your copyright. There's a part of that where you have to defend that copyright. Otherwise, you could be taken to court, and someone could say, "Well, yeah, you own the copyright on this, but you're making no effort to defend it." So there's a legal case to be made there. So they have to defend the copyright they have. They can't just be completely lenient and go, "No, do whatever you want. We're a benevolent Bungie. We don't care."
Yeah, I mean,
the
way I see it, right? I mean, obviously that's not how businesses work, right? Businesses are in for the money, and I'm more in it for the entertainment. But if I had a successful thing like Bungie, where I'm already making all the money, I got all my in-game stuff, I've got my DLC, I'm making my money, right? I don't think I'd be that upset about somebody using my content, like, it's like, fine.
They're not. Well, no, they're not upset. But again, there is part of copyright law where you have to defend copyright. You absolutely could run afoul of that, and someone could make a case to say, "You're not defending this copyright." I don't know what the ramifications of that are.
So if Bungie doesn't care if people use their music indiscriminately, and then somebody makes an identical Destiny 2 game, they're like, "Well, you didn't defend the music, so..."
No, it has nothing to do with the game, but they could say, "Well, this music, clearly you own the copyright to, but you're not defending it. You sort of lose some of that copyright protection. Someone can use that music as its own or in a project or whatever." Again, I am not a copyright lawyer. We are not copyright people, but it's still, at the end of the day, this is their intellectual property. They are going to defend to the level that they see they need to defend, or that they've been advised legally that they need to defend it. So yeah, if you're making things based on Bungie and Destiny, do it. They love it. Go for it. If you're flat out uploading things made by Bungie, don't do it unless you follow the steps that Bungie lays out and says, "Hey, can I get permission to do this?"
And if you do it just right, you could be featured for Movie of the Week or Artist of the Week, as you can in the TWAB. So yeah, we've got art, we've got videos. If you want to submit, then you can go Twitter, #Movie of the Week or Artist of the Week. And
if you two want to launch your teammate through a barricade,
you have a chance to get noticed and be given a lovely emblem for either or both.
Did you guys see the clip that Hawkslay3r uploaded where he in a PvE activity killed me with a tether?
No,
let's do that. Yeah,
but that sounds like a Movie of the Week.
Yeah, he needs to put that as a clip. But yeah, he shot a tether to where I was at, and then it hit me and killed me. I'm like, sorry, what? Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I was kind of proud of that.
I mean, as far as epic fails go, if you could enter that into your own contest, I think that would win. Like, because
I don't think he can win his own contest. I don't think that's how any of that works.
That, and we haven't really unveiled much of that yet.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well,
so everybody's
do we want to
confused.
get into a discussion about this now? Because I'm confused.
Might as well.
So if I'm confused, everyone else is confused. That's my logic anyway.
Yeah, we're done with the 12, so we did the art, we did the music. Raid jackets, again, if you haven't ordered by now, get to it. You got like 5 days. Or don't. It's not my call to make because I'm not getting one anyway.
Well, thanks for reminding me because I didn't get it yet. Oopsie.
You need to order your raid jacket respawn by March 31st.
Yep,
Otherwise, you can't order it, and then you'll be sad that you earned a jacket you will never have because you never bought it.
I'm on it.
Don't be like Respawn. Order your raid jacket.
Yeah. I'm going to do it right after the podcast.
So, Hawk, it's over to you to explain whatever you're here to explain.
Ooh. Ah. Ooh. Ah.
Well, essentially, I'm partnering up with 2 Titans and a Hunter. I am issuing a reward, and they are issuing the contest. My reward is a $35 gift card to the platform of your choice, and I am also making a custom 2 Titans and a Hunter disc golf putter. If you guys want to help me out with the contest details and all that.
So we haven't 100%. We haven't.
While Respawn's trying to figure out how words work, platform of your choice meaning Xbox, PlayStation, Steam, or what sort of platform?
Well,
you have to jump off of into a pool?
Essentially, I'm probably just going to have to get like a Visa card that's universal to any purchase whatsoever. That way, if you did want to use it for Stadia, Steam, or anything like that, you wouldn't be restricted to any particular platform.
So this band is offering you cash money that I'm going to assume we're going to have to make US only because of how that works, but I don't know. Sorry, Nitedemon. Once again, you get nothing, you lose. Good day, sir.
No, you don't have to make it US only.
$35 US or whatever that is at the time in which the card is purchased.
Exactly. So you need us to come up with a competition.
Yes.
And that's the prize.
Peroty and I were talking it over. No decisions have been made yet.
No, you go ahead. You two have obviously, you know what you're talking about.
Well, I mean, no decisions have been made, but we were strongly leaning towards an epic fail kind of contest. Does it have to be a video? Can it be an image? Can it just be a story of something that's happened to you? Definitely prefer videos. Videos definitely have.
Is Respawn going to go back on it the moment you submit it? And he's going to say, no, actually, the rules are completely different. There's no way to tell. It could happen.
I'm not judging.
Right.
Yes,
I am. I'm totally judging. So
no, it's going to be video. We want to see. We want to see your epic fail. How long are we going to give the people? Are we going to give them until from Saturday to Saturday? When do we want to see these epic fails?
Well, we've seen you guys are capable of providing feedback when it suits you. Okay. Yeah,
very true.
So
you're listening. We appreciate you.
Provide the feedback for this contest. Give us your videos, and I say give them 2 weeks. Give them 2 weeks.
I was going to give them longer. I was going to give people long. Yeah, because by the time they hear this and it comes out, and then
yeah, okay.
What you thinking?
So should we say they've got the whole of April?
The whole of April. Okay.
Whole of April.
I'm 2022.
Okay with that. So if you're hearing this in the future, then sorry.
Yep. T-Rex was wondering, where do they put it at? I mean, we have lots of places to submit. You want to just put it on the Discord, or you want to put it in the email, or where do you want to put it?
You have to physically hand it to one of us.
Mm-hmm. You have to drive to our house and hand us a VHS cassette with your clip on it.
Betamax.
I don't have a Betamax player, so I'll have to give that to you.
I've got one. It's fine.
Okay, so if you want to use Betamax, if you want to use 8-track as audio only, it's not going to work.
Laserdisc. We accept Laserdisc.
Yeah. So no, you submit it as you see fit. Email it, Twitter, Discord. Send us put the video somewhere. Either if you're in the Discord, submit it in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord or don't like Discord, whatever, put it somewhere and let us know what the link is.
Exactly. Yeah, you can't
put it somewhere where video can be.
But let us know in the Discord if you can. Hey, I've uploaded a video to the email or to the Twitter. Or
I know
to
Discord's a little bit finicky with how much it can upload. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
if you've got a tweet, you can put it on, or a Facebook link, or anything. I mean, Peroty reads a long list of how to get in touch with us at the end of the show.
Right.
But Facebook,
use one of those
Twitter,
methods.
Instagram,
Yeah.
Discord.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Put the video somewhere.
Email.
Share from Xbox or PlayStation. Slap it up on the YouTube account that you have your out of. We don't care where you put the video, but you got to put the video somewhere and send us a link to that video so we can look at it and judge it and go, is this the failiest epic fail we've seen, or is it just sort of an epic fail?
Yeah. And I don't just mean like
us. We're bad.
If you've caused a screw up, like, I don't know, accidentally placing a Titan bubble in front of a friend with a Galahorn, pushing some guy off the ledge at an inopportune moment, just anything that is a failure and potentially funny is what we're looking for. So
you'll be judged on the epicness of your fail, your how intentional it looks or not. Basically, it's at our discretion. So us by now. If you've been listening to the show for 160 something weeks, we're basically best friends. You know what we like, you know what we don't. Give us something we're gonna laugh at. And yeah.
What do you mean? Can you do YouTube? Can you submit a YouTube video of yourself?
If it's on YouTube and just send us a link and say, here it is, then
right. Yeah. Exactly. If it's in the Discord and the clip is small enough, slap the clip there. If it's somewhere else, send me a link that I can put into my web browser to look at your video. I don't care where your video lives.
If you've edited a non-epic moment, if you've edited a non-epic fail into an epic fail, that doesn't count. Now, if you've had to edit down a video such that you only see the epic fail, that's fine. But don't edit something into an epic fail that isn't.
That, and also in the video, you have to be a part of the fail. It can't be a clip of somebody else that you just happen to be a bystander.
I mean, I'm okay with that, actually. I would be okay with that. If they're in a fire team and they've watched somebody in their fire team epic fail, but then still somehow manage to get the final shot on a raid boss, I'd allow it. I want to see
what happens. What happens if you're on patrol and you see two Titans messing about and doing something silly, and they create an epic fail, and you're just standing there watching them?
Then, if you've submitted the video and they haven't, you win. If they submit the video and you submit the video, then obviously they get the credit because it was their content. You just kind of overwatched it, right? So,
right. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
And if anybody has any questions on the design of the Frisbee and what Frisbee it is, feel free to message me. I'm on Discord, Xbox. My gamer tag is Hawkslay3r with a 3 at the end instead of an E.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be more than happy to send you guys any details, and I'll leave it to Respawn.
Yeah, I think the initial design you had shown me is he's got the Frisbee divided into 3. He's got T, T, and H. The first T is solar. The second T is stasis. Was it stasis?
We can probably put a picture of the image in the show so people can see. And also, for those of us not in the secret know, what is disc golf and why do I care?
Yeah.
Well, disc golf is a up-and-coming sport. It's more practical for the everyday person. Essentially, you get a Frisbee, you have 3 main categories. You have drivers, mid-ranges, and putters. And you were trying to get your Frisbee from the tee pad to the chain basket in as few shots as possible. And all shenanigans out there. You can do all kinds of different shots. It's super fun. There's all kinds of instructional videos, which I'm also creating a TikTok tutorial on the basics. So if anybody wants to get started, I'll be more than happy to list my TikTok username so that I can help you guys out with the basics.
We don't use TikTok here, sir. We don't really use TikTok. That's not a thing we do. Nope.
You don't use TikTok, old man. Tell the people where you are on TikTok. Don't deprive the people. Don't tease them with a TikTok and then be like, well, we're not going to tell you. You got to tell them.
Okay, well, my username in TikTok is Chained Ace, all one word, ChainDAACE, all one word.
Chained Ace. You're an ace that's been chained.
Yep,
Chained Ace. Something against
No, I'm clarifying because he's breaking up. I'm not being an ass. I'm clarifying. He's breaking up.
Yeah, if you drop all your links into, like you private messaged me earlier, if you drop all your links in there, I'll copy and paste them and put those in our show notes for everybody.
Yeah. Perfect. I'll send them all to you.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm really excited about this.
They're just gonna submit a video of nothing but music. No epic fail, just
which is fine if you email Bungie first and get permission. You know, if your video gets copyright struck and taken down before we see it, I can't help you.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we're going to need a letter of approval from Bungie before you send us the video.
Signed, dated, in triplicate. Yeah.
Do you have a doctor's note?
Yes, and we also need a written signature, like a hand signature and a type signature from a Bungie employee.
An audio clip of the fail. No, no. I gotta put my foot down.
No, if you can convey your fail well enough in audio, and I've got an idea how that could happen. If you can give me an audio only fail where I too can live through your fail in audio, I both have respect for you and I want to hear you try.
And I tell you what, if it impresses him and impresses all of us, I might have to throw a different prize in the pot specifically for you. But that is not a separate contest, and I'm not encouraging people to do that. But if you have the gall, the tenacity to do something we specifically said not to and still manage to do it well, you deserve something.
Absolutely.
So basically, when it all boils down to it, is submit a video of an epic fail. We'll go back over it again next week.
Not only will we judge, I will stream them live so that you guys can see what we see. If you feel like giving feedback, you can, but only the three of us actually count.
And also, by submitting the clip, you also are giving us permission to use it in our YouTube video as well, because I will put like entries in there if they're good enough, so that other people can see them and judge them and see if we got it right or if we got it wrong.
You will be judged.
You will be judged, and obviously the winner will be in there. So
yes, and once again, we know you're capable of the feedback. All right,
very capable.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
When properly motivated.
We only had like 10 or 15 entries. This one, we better see a lot more entries. We've seen what you're capable of, everybody.
And here's the thing: you have something to gain. You have literal money and a frisbee to win from this.
Right. You can use it for silver, for all those things that Nitedemon always talks about is only for silver. Yeah, you can buy some of that cool stuff. Then you'll have a frisbee for frisbee golf that's got the 2 Titans and a Hunter logo. We don't even have one of those. You'll have merch that we don't even have. All right?
Yes.
He didn't say, hey, guys, I'm going to send this to y'all. Would you like me to make another one? No. He said, I'm making one of these for whoever deserves it. So we're not even going to have that prize. You feel me?
I mean,
do you understand the gravity?
If they would have asked nicely.
And before he asks, no, not our few also are not eligible to win, just like we, the 3-4 of us, are ineligible to win as well.
What?
You can't win your own contest.
I got tethered by friendly fire, okay? That counts.
You can run your own contest, sir. You are neither the 3 Titans are ineligible to win this contest that they are holding, because that's not how contests work. Also, Hawkslay3r, you can't win your own contest. Not that I think you would, but just throwing that out there, because apparently we need to carefully
tethered me, dude.
We need to carefully specify things because otherwise we'll get all the feedback on them. So yeah, anyone who's on this show cannot win the contest from the show.
Who is on the show? Who will be on the show? Who has been on the show?
No, on the show currently.
Who wants to be on the show?
That includes the recording bots too.
That's another thing. If you have 8 submissions of epic fails, submit them all, dude. I want to laugh. I don't care. It's not a one person. But if you just start submitting crap thinking it's an epic fail just to get more entries.
Yeah, you're not limited to one. You're not limited to one epic fail.
No.
We may laugh at how badly you failed on epic fails, but that's, I mean, you brought that on yourself at that point.
Right?
And just be aware, we are experts at this, so we can judge if you set this up and it's just a complete setup. We know when there's an epic fail.
Yeah, and it's not limited to PvP.
You cannot fool us.
PvE. It is PvP. It is whatever, man.
Tower.
Yeah. Yeah, just wherever. If you can find an epic fail anywhere in the game
in Destiny
that has not been pre-set up. This is not scripted, by the way. Don't air quotes set up an epic fail. All right? Yeah, no, just submit as many as you want from anywhere in the game. We don't care.
Yeah. So we'll come up with a shorter version of this for the next week, but you have until the end of April 2022. Don't wait till the last day, because I'm not giving you the time zone. I'm not giving you just you have till the end of April. Don't dilly-dally. You have to create an epic fail in the game of Destiny or Destiny 2, send them to us in a video in some way that we can watch that video. We will judge you. We will laugh at you. We will award you prizes if you are the best at failure.
Yes. Mr. Blackbriars brings up a point. He says, I should have clipped me jumping in front of you using the 1K voice. If they involve us in an epic fail and they upload that video, does that count?
From the past, yes.
From the past.
If it's from the past, if it's prior to this, again, Hawkslay3r, you still can't win. If it happened before this contest, yeah, if it's a clip you've been holding on to of something embarrassing you did 3 years ago, absolutely go for it.
As you had that clip that you've been hanging on to forever, submit it. See what happens.
AZ, you can absolutely submit that clip you've been hanging on to Respawn.
Okay. So how close I got a report roundup or something?
You have a report roundup. So get to it.
The hell am I looking at?
Destiny Bulletin.
Is this really a skin?
You're looking at Zavala.
So Fortnite has added an unofficial Zavala skin with our new season. Is that actually Zavala? Yeah.
It looks so much like Zavala.
It really does.
It can't not be.
Including the lines under the eyes. Look at that.
Unless Lance Riddick is a playable game in Fortnite, that's Zavala.
That is absolutely Zavala.
I might actually go and have a look at that.
Yep. Paul Tassi says, I can be corrected if I'm wrong, but I believe this is the first time I've seen it strongly implied. I can be corrected if I'm wrong, but I believe this is the first time I've seen it strongly implied that yes, the next 3.0 will be next season, and then no break until all 3 are out. Order not confirmed. And he's replying to Kevin Yanes. Some small tweaks are here as a reminder we expect to be slower on balance updates because we ultimately treating towards a world where every damage type lives in the subclass of 3.0 world. Patch notes on Destiny 2, Hotfix, yada yada yada. Paul Tassis, okay, yeah, that was my thing from last week. Okay, so yeah. And that's what he's replying to. He goes, yes, it's all but confirmed. We are going to have a new 3.0 every season. Bam. Destiny Bulletin says, Vow the Disciple 48-hour contest mode emblem update. We have hit a snag in our process to send players who complete the Vow Disciple raid during 48-hour contest mode. We hope that we have a resolution soon to notify players once the emblems are distributed. AKA, we'll let you know.
Mm-hmm.
Destiny Crucible, another Destiny channel. Okay, Destiny Crucible says, quick question for the CM team. And this is to @Cosmo or @DMG. Have mentioned Xur's gear has been bugged. Incredibly low stat armor, and I assume 801 is as well. Is there a fix coming, or is this going to be the new norm? Cosmo said, still working on this one. It is not the new norm. So there you go.
Still bugged, still aware of it.
Mercules 904. I've heard that name. You must be famous. Excited to announce that today will be my first day at Bungie. Shut up. At Bungie as associate weapons designer. This is a dream come true for me, and I can't wait to be a part of an amazing team making awesome stuff for the sandbox that I've spent the last 7 years thinking way too much about. Yeah, he was a streamer, right? Is a streamer, was a streamer, has streamed.
Massive Breakdown Podcast.
Massive Breakdown Podcast. That's exactly what I was saying. DMG04 says, seeking clarification on glaive feedback. We've seen some feedback on... We've seen some feedback items of perks should trigger on glaive melees. Absolutely. Because the what's the reload one?
And what do they say about it before you get too far?
Subsistence needs to work on a glaive stab. Damn it. This is a request to have a perk like Swash immediately give 5 times projectile damage on melee kill. Absolutely. Or for the damage boost to apply to any attack from the glaive. If you have other examples of perks traits not interacting with glaives in a way you would expect, please sound off. Yes, DMG, That should be a thing that you said right here. Subsistence should trigger on a glaive kill. Anything that is on kill should apply to the glaive shooting and stabbing. Period. Flat out. Full stop. G1EK. Hey, at DMG, at Dirty F, and Hippie, at Cosmo23. So the current Nightfalls/weapons. Scarlet Keep has Duty Bound. Arms Dealer has Silicone Neuroma. Lightblade has the Comedian. Glassway has the Hothead. Fallen Saber has Duty Bound? ? And what does the Birthplace of Vile have? Will it be Palindrome, Plug 1? Or I'm sorry, will Palindrome and or Plug 1 be included? DMG replies, says, check in with the team. Looks like Palindrome and Plug 1 will appear during the same week that the Grandmaster Nightfalls become available. DB/SN, that would be Duty Bound and Silicon Neuroma, will appear more frequently in rotations as they're newer. So the weapons aren't necessarily paired to specific strikes. DMG also says, we'll continue conversations with the team and pass along feedback that we see on how rotation is working right now. That last part, take a drink. The rest of it was good info until that last one. Destiny Bulletin, new. Here's the development roadmap for Destiny 2 for the Witch Queen, Lightfall, the final shape, and beyond, revealed during Bungie's GDC 2022 panel. This is a very poorly taken photograph of
someone took a picture of a PowerPoint. So there is a roadmap. GDC was this week. Bungie put out a bunch of things, or not put out, but had sessions that people have taken screenshots of and grabs of.
Yeah,
that's one of them. There is a plan. There is more game. It's all redacted.
And I believe along with that, the plan is for next season, there to be one of the new dungeons that we're getting if we did pay for the deluxe version. The season after will be the reprised raid. And then the final season for the Witch Queen will be the second dungeon that if you paid the deluxe version, you get access to.
Dun, 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 dun. And with that, do we have any more feedback? I mean, we have a ton of feedback, and it's all Respawn You Lost. But aside from that stuff, what else do we have?
Well, I mean, I don't think we should gloss over the Respawn You Lost feedback, because some people came out of the woodwork.
I just said it.
Share with us.
Said.
Look, just go with this on this one. Don't argue, because remember, your wife wants you to leave quite soon.
I mean, I'm not going to deprive people who have come out of the woodwork to then give us feedback on something.
No,
I mean, they've been sitting in the wings, being like, we're not gonna interact with the show, and they have been moved to do so.
I mean, even moved to do so in your own chat last night when you were maining a hunting. Zep Orbit 23 said he saw, and I was going to defend you, but I'm too lazy. I don't know whether he was going to defend you to the same hill that you were on, but who knows? He was too lazy.
Less lazy allies.
Sorry. It is what it is. I mean, it's my own fault for being a hunter. Hunters very notoriously look out for themselves. So, I mean...
No, I think it's your fault for making the bet in the first place. Nothing to do with you being a hunter.
Tomato, potato, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, we did have Drew reach out to us on our Podbean. He said he's lost respect for you, Respawn. The bet was made, and now that he's lost the bet, he's afraid of putting the hunter class down for a season and to try and find ways to avoid admitting defeat. The bet was made, and if he had gone through with it and read the fragments and aspects prior to making the bet, he would have realised that it was wrong and wouldn't have to make it. I never thought the guy who's always talked about his marine background would go back on his word for something as trivial as PvP.
And you see, that's the thing. I didn't go back on my word.
No, I know you haven't.
I mean, but no, okay, but jokes aside, a lot of people think I did. Even last night while I was with Fuzzco, he's all like, dude, you really reneged on that one. I'm like, I just spent 6 hours on a Titan. What do you mean I reneged? He goes, I didn't know.
Well, see,
you don't know. You don't even look.
Well, see, you reneged publicly on the show, and then so people have assumed you reneged. They're not going to look at what you're watching.
But even on the show, unless he cut it out, I said, fine, whatever, it's done.
No, that was definitely in there. Yeah, you
did say that.
So then people just either didn't listen that far or didn't listen at all, or what?
But, you have said multiple times, yes, I lost the bet, but then in the same breath, also then went on to speak for 45 minutes about how you didn't really lose the bet. Yeah. So I could see how people were a little confused at how you were taking the bet, and have thus written into us about it.
So Drew also went on to say, side note, Titans and Warlocks can still have the fragment on during PvP, but as of right now, the finishers aren't available in PvP. So they still have the ability to do so. And he says that, you lost the bet, don't back out of the bet because it didn't go your way. That's all it boils down to. Thank you for your response, Drew. You had a couple more on Twitter, didn't you, Peroty?
We did.
We had some on Facebook too, which I didn't even realize people talked on Facebook.
Oh yeah, people talk
on our Facebook.
That's why we tell people there's a million ways to get a hold of him. Giuseppe the Gunslinger's Ghost said, he came to the show. First time listener here. I shake my head at a fellow hunter trying to weasel out of a bet. Play the hand you're dealt. Don't go giving us hunters a bad reputation now. We're letting the people down, sir.
No, he's not. Let's go back over this. He is playing his Titan.
No, correct. So, yeah. He is on his down. He tried to. He is not the honor. The honor is not there.
I'm playing it.
The majesty of the hunter.
Well.
Paladin Patrick says he totally lost the bet. He initiated the bet without qualification. Therefore, the onus was on him to detail specifics. I haven't even finished the podcast yet, but for the record, he's not being a man of his word. LOL. He also then goes on to say, if you must compromise, make him play Titan only for all PvE content, since that's where he's actually admitting he lost. And then Chris Ayers also said, I'm also a new listener. Yeah, I'm also a new listener, and the hunter is making such a bad argument about not having lost the bet that I bet I had to find you on Twitter to comment on this. So he was driven to find us on Twitter for the sole purpose of being like, sir, you've lost the bet.
That's impressive, not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm. And then you want to
these
do
were
these
Facebook and Instagram, I think they are. Yeah, we had Mason Duncan. He 100% lost the bet. I'm a hunter main, currently dabbling with Warlock. Is there a link to his poll he's talking about? And I said, no, there's no poll. It was made up in his head.
I never said there was a poll. I said we could start a poll.
Yes, but you kept going on about having a poll all throughout the thing. There was no poll. But I said I'll pass your feedback onto the team.
People were giving me feedback. People were sending me messages. That was the poll I was using, is the messages people were sending me.
Yeah, exactly. It was in your head. Brandon Gross also replied, said, can't wait to listen to Respawn just play the Titan.
It's not fun.
Real?
Yeah, it's not fun. How are you liking it so far, huh? The constant, I mean, it's not even me playing Titan. It's basically a slideshow of my ghost in various locations, right? So fun.
Jeff,
do you enjoy it?
To be fair, it's also like how you play Hunter. So really nothing has changed.
That's not true. I'm never dead as a hunter unless I'm in PvP. In which case, I'm never alive as a
no, not being dead. I just meant every time I would look at the gameplay of changing your outfit around. That's all I was saying on a hunter. You were alive. You were just still. You were just still in the menu. That's
fashion game is strong on a hunter, man. What?
It is. It is.
Yeah.
I can agree.
I know it's 80% fashion, 20% gameplay. I understand.
There you go. Yeah. So
Jeff Real was also excited about the episode, saying this episode is going to be legendary.
Yeah.
And then we had Luca Charms. Respawn utterly defying logic to justify flinching on flinching on a bet, and then sent a gif of a small child on the ground flailing and screaming.
Which I put that one in the questions and feedback because the picture is just superb. Obviously, the gift doesn't play, but at least you can get the idea.
Yeah.
And I mean, there were many more in our own chat. There was a lot of discussions. Even Hawkslay3r was riling things up, egging Respawn on, saying, "Oh no, I think he did win the bet." And I don't hear Nitedemon actually say yes, he will take the bet. Like, please just go back and listen to it at this specific point. I said it twice. I'll take him up on the bet.
You did.
And then after that, just because so many people have asked me this question, I'm answering it en masse so people stop asking me.
Go on.
The question is, so, are you going to make any more bets? Answer, yeah.
Absolutely, and he'll forget about this too. It'll be fine.
Bro, I mean, just look at the Destiny lore, how hunters become Vanguard. Hunters,
Respawn,
all they do is bet, right?
Respawn, before I get onto my tips, tricks, guides, and builds, I have a double or nothing bet for you, sir.
Oh, no.
Are you interested? I wasn't going to make a bet with you, but I genuinely felt sorry for you with the amount of stress that you were going through.
What would the double be? I'd have to play 2 seasons of Titan? I mean, what?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Boils down to. I've been thinking about this, and I think if I win, you play as a Titan, nothing else for the next season. And I mean play the game, not, I'm just going to say I'm going to be on the Titan and not actually play the game. But you have to actually physically play the game for the whole entire season. No Hunter, no Warlock.
You can't say that because you never know what work is going to get involved, or family life, or yada yada.
Oh, no, and you know what I mean. I'm saying don't use another game to get out of playing next season kind of thing.
Oh.
It also depends on what comes out. Again, can't make any promises.
Yeah. But no, this is the thing, right? So it'll be a double or nothing for you because already you're playing as a Titan this season, but you do have a little bit of wiggle room there to play a little bit of Hunter, a little bit of Warlock. But next season, if you get this one wrong, you play exclusively Titan, nothing else. You do not touch any other character for any other thing. It's just Titan all the way. If you win, I play as a Hunter and do exactly the same thing. I do not touch my Titan. I do not touch my Warlock. Hunter for the whole season.
Oh.
See, that's cool, but you guys don't know he already plays Hunter fairly regularly. So for him, that's not as big a sacrifice it is for me.
Well, it is if I don't play the Titan or the Warlock as well.
Fair enough.
Because I like to play all three.
I need to hear the terms of the bet. I'm not going to do a blind bet.
Well, I mean, this is where I was coming up to. I think this should be something that we have no control over whatsoever. Whereas the fragments, the aspects, there was Bungie even saying this is the case. I think this should be a Guardian Games bet.
Yes.
Again, sketchy, but continue.
Well, let's face it. You're going to say the Hunters will win this year.
It depends. Like I said,
well, that's what I'm saying.
If
we make the bet now before they come, that's what I'm saying. If we make the bet now before we know anything that's coming out, then we're in no control of this. This is down to the whole community as a whole. Whether we have to, it's double or nothing for you.
Okay. So if the Hunters win, I win. If the Hunters just lose, I lose. So I'm at a 2/3 disadvantage here.
Well, it's up to you. What
I would say if Hunters win, I win. If Titans win, you win. If Warlocks win, we got to come up with some kind of intermediary because we both lost.
No, I tell you what. I will bet Warlocks. If you want to go Hunters, I will go Warlocks. And if Titans win, there is an intermediary.
I can't go anything besides Hunters. It's just against.
No, that's what I'm saying. You go Hunter. I think that Warlocks will win this year. I mean, I said it last week, and that's what I'm thinking. Is that they'll do some jiggery pokery
to make Warlocks win. I think
it's up to you. Do you want to take that bet?
Okay, hear me out.
I'm listening. This is the negotiation part.
Hear me out.
Yeah,
and because I'm going to get it out in the open right now.
Okay.
What if you pick Team A, I pick Team B, and Team C wins? What if whoever's wrong has to play as the class who did win for that season? So if I pick Hunters and Titans win, boom, I play the Titan. If I pick Hunters and Warlocks win, boom, I play Warlock. If you pick Warlocks and Titans win, well, you're not really missing out. So
yeah,
right. I think we might have to jiggery do that a little bit, but I'm like,
okay. If team 3 wins, if the Titans win, then we both play Warlock for the season, but we can dabble in the other characters.
Fair. I think that's fair.
So that way, it's going to be a straight win, lose or draw situation, isn't it? Yeah. Something's going to happen, and it's all down to Guardian Games this year.
If Warlocks win, one of us has to fly to the other one's house and play Bloody Knuckles. That's an expensive bet.
So, to clarify, I am betting that Warlocks will win the Guardian Games this year. If that happens, then Respawn will main a Titan exclusively, no other classes to be played for the following season. Sorry?
No. I'm saying if I pick Hunters and Titans win, I've lost, and therefore I main a Titan.
No, you main the Warlock.
Hunters,
no, that's the middle ground.
Huh? Wait, what?
I'm picking Warlocks to win.
Okay.
You are picking Hunters, as you would.
Yeah.
If the Titans win, that's when we both have to play Warlock, and that's our main, but we can dabble in the other two
but
for
if
the
Warlocks
season.
win, I have to play Titan.
Yes.
Because you've won that bet. Okay, I see. All right. Yeah, I think I'm good with that. Although I'm actually on your side. I think the Warlocks will win because they haven't yet.
Well, okay.
But I'm trusting my Hunters to overgap whatever numbers game Bungie
Do
tries to play,
you
guys.
want to swap?
No.
This is your deal or no deal chance.
No, I can't
to
swap.
pick the
Even if I
Warlocks. I
wanted
will
to,
give you
even
the
if you're
opportunity
right.
to take my
Even
guess.
If you're right, I cannot go against my Hunters, dude. You can't. Even if you're right, even if I know you're right, I still have to go for the Hunters. But I also have to believe that my Hunters will help me overcome any numbers game that Bungie's trying to do. Okay, we saw what happened with the Titans. We gave up. We didn't care. All right, if that happens again, I need you guys to help me. I need you to help me.
So our two adjudicators that are here, Peroty and Hawkslay3r.
Yes.
Are you happy with this bet? Are you happy to qualify it and timestamp it and do whatever to make it legal so that there's no wiggle room, no getting out of this at all? Is there anything that we've kind of missed?
Right.
Can I add
We don't
thing?
care. Go for it.
I was wanting to add that if it landed on the middle ground, both characters, both Nitedemon and Respawn, has to rock the colors that Peroty chooses.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Oh, so we have to main somebody we don't want to main and wear colors that he chooses. I mean, that's just a bright pink. That's the frozen colors anyway.
He could pick something else.
He could pick something else.
Oh, so he might not pick the colors that he likes.
You imagine that he's picked a really horrible, like garish, bright, shiny color, and you rock up into Iron Banner that week, and you're like, "Hit me, everyone! I'm here."
Did you see?
He could pick Baby Barf Green.
Is Guardian Games this season? Hold on, somebody made a point. Is Guardian Games this season?
Yes. They already put on the thing from last week.
Somebody's saying don't
listen to the
qualify.
show from last week.
I can't play as a hunter to help my team.
Well, that's why you're relying on the rest of the hunters. You have to have the faith of your people are going to go out and take this.
And as I remember it last year, you didn't actually play. You left it up to the other hunters, remember? I remember having a conversation with you and you went, "Don't worry, we've got this covered. I've played it for a week. I've got it sorted."
Yeah. Thereabouts.
Then what are you worried about?
Yeah, the only qualification I was
I'm
going
not worried
to make...
about it. I'm just saying like that was a thing that somebody brought up.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
that this year you'll have to play as a Titan for the Guardian Games.
You're one person out of the 1 million+ hunters. The only qualification I was going to make is we're going on what Bungie says wins. Whatever stipulations Bungie puts in on who wins, that's what we're going with. We're not going to say, but they did this, but they did that. Exactly. Yeah.
Demon, do you have an inside track that we don't know about, Demon?
Sorry?
No. Do you have an inside track we don't know about?
Nobody has
there's nothing yet. Nothing yet.
I mean, they've just announced it, or just told us when it was going to be last week. I mean, we all sort of assumed it was going to happen because it always does. But yeah, no, that's my only qualification is whatever Bungie, whatever rules Bungie sets forth, everybody is playing by those same rules. So whatever those rules are, we've pre-agreed to those rules.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to trust my hunters. We got to go for numbers, guys.
Just look at it this way, Respawn.
Maybe I'll play a hunter just in your honor and help your people because God knows they get. They individually. I said your people need all the help they can get. The hunters individually, you all are wonderful. As a group, I'm really not seeing the teamwork that you need to put together to get this win. I've really not seen that happen so far. Hunters are not good team players.
We just need loot. If the loot's worth it, the hunters will get it.
The loot's out there. Well, apparently, complete bounties and play game was not good. So you need to step up, put it together.
What's the armor look like? What's the weapons look like? What's the rewards look like?
Everything you've already seen in the game to this point.
I mean, look at it this way, Respawn. This year you will be playing as a Titan for the Guardian Games, but you are not fighting on a team that I have backed. So if the Titans win, it's a middle ground thing. So if essentially you are playing for the right team. Yeah, you're still hurting me.
Yeah, but you never said I had to play well. for the Titans.
Or play the activities that actually count toward the thing, or turn in the bounties.
No, I mean you don't have to.
You can play and do what you've done the last couple seasons,
and just not
help any
games.
Yeah. I mean, I could use this point in the show to encourage everybody from now to play their warlock so that I win.
I mean, I can jump up and say, "Come on, hunters, let's band together."
Yeah, but that'll be edited out, so good luck with that.
Yeah, but there's still the live stream. So there is still the live stream. But no, yeah, I'm gonna trust my hunters. We won last season. I'm gonna have to trust y'all to win this season. Bungie is gonna play some shenanigans with numbers because I've seen what happens if they don't. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna need to overcome that.
That's what I'm relying on this year.
All right, yeah. So going into this, hunters, don't give up. We know they're gonna screw with our numbers.
It's all edited out.
We
know that you're going to give up. we know you're going to give up. Fight the urge to give up.
Numbers. We can do this. There's going to be
any point that you start rallying the hunters. That's it. It's all edited out.
Well, I mean, I'm not editing out.
Nobody listens to the live show.
That's not true. I have like 5 people in here right now.
Go 5 hunters! Yay!
No, but just
I think we've learned they're all Titans anyway.
2,000 people watching, but I have 200-300 views of video after the fact.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. So the hunters show up eventually.
No, that's not edited at all. Actually, no. I'll have to pick up some slack for you and actually play the horrible Guardian games. I'd super appreciate it, Mr. Black Bars. Hey, we didn't raid last night. We've bonded. I need you to help me. We have a bond. Anyway, yeah, okay, I'm good with this. We neither one of us have any inside information aside from we both assume there's going to be number shenanigans in favor of the Warlocks. So, yeah,
possibly. Yeah. I mean, they could leave it as they did last year and say that we'll just go with the model that worked. You know, you just need to get your teams out there because there were a couple of days that the Warlocks did win. There were a couple of days that the Titans won, but ultimately there were the majority of the hunters, so they could just leave it as.
Here's hoping.
I just really think we need a better reward to make people care about the reward because the tiny statue in the tower has never done it.
Tiny statue and the gold class item. Yeah. But if we're gonna have a gold class item, make it look good. Because last year's the silver looked better on the hunter cloak than the gold did. So if it's gonna be gold, make it a good looking gold class item. Come on.
There is no good looking gold. It's all garish.
That's fair.
Tips, tricks, guides, and builds for next week or this week that I've watched. Several people have put out these videos, and Abiel, I've picked one, has got the unlimited high stat armor rolls that you can get from the war table this season. Anyway, if you're interested in the Bungie takedown update from Hawkslay3r, I've got the video in there for you explaining what went down. Fallout Plays has Are the enhanced perks worth it? I'm not going to tell you if they are. You've got to go and watch the video.
Maybe.
They may be. Did you know that there is possibly a god roll which is better than the funnel web that has been obtainable for at least a year now? Well, MyFi has a video going over what submachine gun you should be looking out for, what perks are on it, and why it's better than the funnel web. Go check that out. Above has the best PvE heavy from Trials of Osiris. Now, I know this is a video he's put out exclusively for this weekend because on the reward track, there is a Reed's Regret, which is the linear fusion rifle, which has a perfect synergy. And if you're not aware of this, that basically every week Saint's inventory rotates and the perks on the weapons that he's got in his inventory will be rotated. So it's a bit like Xur. Each week he'll turn up and he'll have a refresh at the weekly refresh, and the perks might not necessarily be the best thing. If you've got it available this week to go down to Saint 14 and grab this one off of his reward track, go and grab it, because I think it has like triple tap firing line and it's amazing for PvE. But if you don't have it, then I mean, watch the video for the actual perk combination, because you can just save up your engrams and just see if you can play the game of, can I get it from getting the engrams and decrypting them from Saint 14. So go and look out for that one. Cool Guy has got the Loreley Splendor helmet and why it is better now that they've changed it. And he's convinced me, even though I haven't kind of taken it off, I've really enjoying it for this season. I haven't embraced the void as much as I should have. I know. I love the solar helmet. As soon as I saw it, I was like, yes, I want sunspots everywhere. I want sunspots where I'm standing. And I didn't realize that you could use it.
Nerfed, is it still good?
Yes, he says that
it's even better. Apparently,
it's even better with the way. I mean, he shows you how to use it, and I didn't realize that you could use it with the rally barricade. So you can use it with the smaller barricade. You don't have to have the towering barricade with the.
Are you talking about Under the Booty?
No, I'm talking
above
guy.
Under the Booty has a solar build that I was looking at before I built the Void build, and it's pretty good. And it sounds like what you're talking about.
I have that in the show notes. Plunder the Booty's new Titan S tier solar build, and again with the Laurely Splendor and sunspots everywhere. So check that one out. Cool Guy also has the Likely Suspect God Roll, which is the fusion rifle that you can craft from the Enclave, and what perks you need to be looking out for that. And again, I think it all comes down to Firmly Planted, where you can either be crouched and get more stability, or you can slide into the stability, because there's still a lot of people that don't actually know that that you can use that perk as a sliding perk as well, because you slide into being crouched and it works just the same. So go check that one out. Cheese Forever has
forgot all about the sliding procs on that too. So thank you for the reminder for that person who may have forgotten.
That's all right. Cool Guy, not Cool Guy. Cheese Forever has 2 videos this week to do with the exhibition challenge, I guess, or the exhibition part in the Val the Disciple raid. Now there is a video that he's got so you can do solo callouts in the exhibition, and the infinite timer glitch in exhibition. And I didn't realize that they actually used this infinite glitch, time glitch, in the world's first. Somebody discovered it whilst trying to do the world's first, then fed it back to that the world's first raid team, and they used it to kind of get this done. So if it's a glitch in the game, everybody could use it. You can use it to do a world's first, and she's got it in his video for you.
Nice.
Another good one this week. Patigates Gaming goes over and ranks and explains every damage perk. Now, I mean, I just assume, things like Rampage and Kill Clip are the best ones to use. I was wrong. There are other ones that do a lot more damage if you can get them to work for you. And he puts them in different tiers for PvE and PvP. So it's definitely worth a look at, because he goes over like the new ones that are also included in this season, as well as old ones. So it's about 40 minutes long, so it's definitely not Deacon approved, but it is a really good video. And Bravex Hero has a Get This Grenade Launcher now. So you have to go and get it now, because it has a perk combination that hasn't been available for at least a year. And I think it was one of the Crow weapons that we had in Season of the Hunt, I think, with auto-loading holster. It's one of the Waveframe grenade launchers, so go and check that video out if you are looking for something.
Is now going to be now by the time people. Is it now until Tuesday reset as one of the vendor weapons?
No, it's just now, just anytime now. Yeah, for
okay,
until the end of the season, I guess.
Okay.
Just want to make sure seasonal weapons.
Want to make sure it wasn't one of those like, get this before the reset if you hear this on Tuesday.
No, I feel bad about putting videos in like that. I mean, you should always try and keep your ears to the ground, because a lot of content creators do put out a video that's going, this mod's only available for the next 6 hours, and you're like, have I got time? Yes, I've got time. If not, I've missed it, kind of thing. But yeah. And then Throne World guys, I've got all our Throne World guys of how to do the raid, how to do the lost sectors, how to get your Lucent Moss, how to find your darkness rifts, and what to do, Vox Obscura missions. The ones for you Respawn, Ebontis' solo legendary missions, if you're on your Titan, got all those. So yeah. And yeah.
I'm almost done now, I think. Yeah, I just killed the shielded dude, so I only have a few missions left, right?
Cool. So that is it for me. I'm done, Dees. Anybody got any more for any more? Any more for any mores? Any s'mores for any s'mores? You keep cutting out again. Hug that microphone. Love that microphone.
I do need to love the microphone. I think it's time for a new microphone. I think after 3 years, I think I can justify that it's time to buy a new microphone.
Yes.
I'm thanking you for joining us. Your Titans are Peroty, Nitedemon, and no one responds in real life.
Negative.
Your Lord Scribe is not ARF. You can email the show at twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com. We're on Twitter at twotitans_hunter. We're on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook at twotitansandahunter. After the last week, I now know you all know where to find us. So good job listening. Great work, everyone. You can find all your favorite Guardians dancing in the tower, trying on new capes, butt capes, looking at beautiful shaders, and thinking, does this shade of pink really bring out my eyes and the hive bits all over me? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Listen to the show on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, and everywhere fine podcasts are sold. Watch the show on YouTube. And if you see Respawn online, please give him your best Titan tips because he needs all of them. And if you're interested in the contest, you can join our Discord at discord.frozen.party. That's frozen with a 0. Submit your clips and epic fails in Destiny. Send them on Discord. Upload them somewhere we can watch them. Send us a link to any of the ways I mentioned above. And you have until Saturday, April 30th. And show us you being failures. We know you are, deep in your heart, all failures, just like us. And gentlemen, say goodbye, give your parting bits of advice, and go forth and tell the people things.
Deuces.
Risk it for a biscuit, guys.
Goodbye.
Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast.
Also, hey, we have an event channel. Perhaps we should put this in that event channel.
That seems dangerously like we know what we're doing.
Right?
Like
that seems an event.
A little. We also have a live channel we've never used. I mean, we have all sorts of things, but
things go wrong. If we deviate from the course, things go wrong. Even if we're on the course, things go wrong.
There's no course.
No.
Whoever told you there was a course was absolutely lying.